WIFTBPM.
Mays Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like May said. Remy said a Juke-a-thon day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
Yeah. All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Well, every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breaching security, and caught a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater. But she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history. All because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gon' tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media's the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. It's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know, I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism.
WIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more Black, Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Lenders give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, my foot. I'm going to tell you what Santa really put under my so-called tree, but in reality, look like a decorated pole to me. Well, you talk about a tree. It makes me wonder, because I never had a tree. Put anything under. If I ever did look up and get a tree, well, it was never anything under it for me. That's the Beach Street Christmas rap. Can you tell I'm in Christmas mode? Ho, ho, ho. It's your man, Mage. I should have wore this on 304. This, you know what, Riis? This is now my 304 sweater. So from now on, if I wear this anytime during the year on a Wednesday, that means that we have officially figured out who the week 304 ho, ho, ho is. So if you see this sweater after today, if you see this sweater on a Wednesday, somebody finna get it. This is now the ho, ho, ho sweater dedicated to 304.
Appreciate you.
Hey, man, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Come on, man. Look, I got my jolly. Let me get jolly. Ho, 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 ho. See the belt, the hole you dig. Anyway, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler in the building on the ones and twos. DJ Riis the Ruler, how you feeling today?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest. It's starting to feel like December now, man.
Hey, man, the heat.
Just in general, man.
I'm just saying, though. Hey, man, it did feel like December. So, Riis, I was in Houston. And Riis, when you get off the plane in Houston, you don't really know how to. So, like, the week before we went, the weather said it was going to be 46 to 60. I kind of know how to deal with that. Then the next time it was 60 to 72. So I really don't know how to dress for that. Then by the time you got that, so I kind of put my 60 to 72 wardrobe together. But then when you put your 60 to 72 wardrobe together and it's 76, So it's super hot.
Sun shining.
With the sun shining, so now you run around with a turtleneck looking crazy. Then you go in the restaurant, and they got the heat on, the air on 0. So it's like you dress, you don't even know how to dress in Houston. Cause man, Muggs, it was 80 degrees at one point, and people was freezing in the restaurant. My man, the man was, you know how you walk up to the restaurant. I got a turtleneck on, long pants. My man walk outside, Houston ready. Got his little, the black little fly shirt with the collar, with the sleeves, short sleeves. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, I look crazy. Until we sat our ass down in that restaurant, and they look, Muggs and that. I was like, pass me the martini tree, please. Turtleneck and all. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show in December. Riis, it's the week. You got to use your tricks, man. This ain't even this trick. What you ain't got to use none of your tricks. I'm telling you, man. I got this heater underneath the table, so if you need to borrow it, right, we can heat this room up. Close it. See, I learned my trick is heat it up, close the door, turn on the lights, talk a lot. You'll stay hot. You got the door open, so you just letting the cold flow in and out.
You know what? I don't even know. Like, I don't know if I should close it or keep it open because it's cold. So I
think you close it. You take you take the heater. You go heat the room up. You close it because it's a closed space. You put the look, Riis, you supposed to be teaching me this.
Oh no! Listen. If I wanted to stay warm, I'll be out. That's why I got my little coat and stuff on. But it's good though. It's good though. I usually have my little tea and it'll keep me warm throughout the show. But it's good though.
Okay, all right. It's the Maze Jackson Show. All right, Dad. Hope you hating like that, famo. All right, I'm gonna have to put the people on you. Don't be like that, man. What under apparish? Spell what? Somebody find out what under apparish is. We gonna have to put the hope up with the insults early, huh? Dang, man. That's okay.
With the thesaurus out too.
Right. With G trying to out Salim. Like Salim ain't awake.
Put some big words in here.
Let me throw some of these in here real quick. Give Maze the business. I can't be happy, man. I can't be jolly. I can't participate in the spirit. Well, I gotta be mad all the time. See, that's the problem with y'all. Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell y'all what. I had my granddaughter yesterday, and she was so happy eating. Bree, she was so happy just eating pizza. I might have to show y'all the video of her eating pizza. And I was like, and I be around here mad with y'all. She was in the height of her happiness with a pizza, a microwave pizza from Home Run Inn. Bandaddy, as she calls me so affectionately, and wiping her hands in my hair after she ate pizza. And I thought to myself, what am I mad for? Why do I got to wake up and be mad every day? That's why I'm going to put on my ho-ho-ho sweater. So when she see Bandaddy, she don't see, why you always mad, Bandaddy? No, baby girl, we got a good life. And I'm going to make sure you got a better one. So, yeah, y'all can out mad. You go ahead, push me. Keep on. I'm not going to be mad much longer. I'm not. I'm just not. It's like I be around here mad, y'all be around here. Look, I'm about to call Chewy up. Let me start. Oh, well, hold on, Dr. Wilson. No diss. Let me chill. And Brandon, man, dog, we got so much to talk about today. Hey, yo, Brandon threw me off yesterday. He took a whole hour, and he took dang near an hour and a half, Joe. And Riis, I was thinking about that interview yesterday. I thought he was a decent dude. Then I had to go back and start thinking. Then I thought about dude. Right then, but I let that part go. Right, I'm gonna let that go because he checked his boy. So that was that. So that's what you gotta do. You can't keep whooping on somebody once they do what you ask them to do. So, but I was just thinking, man, like it really got me to thinking about how far off am I? Right, like how progressive is Chicago, and maybe it's stuck in the past. Like maybe you and Ruthie are right. Right? Maybe it's just a different world. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Come on here, and it's like almost every show you come on here, you be like, another one gone, Riis. Like, so it's like a whole new people finna be in there. Like the next 5 years, it's gonna be a whole new lineup.
And then it'll be a whole new lineup, and all the people that I had beef with will be like, realistically, will be not there. And I have all these opportunities to make new relationships in a good space. And then I be on TV mad with y'all because y'all gas me up in Wakanda. And then I could be, right? Man, fam, do y'all realize this time of year I would be planning to be gone for 3 weeks? 2 weeks? Pile up the family like, where we going for? Y'all got me around here mad. Right? Like, I'm mad, and as Julian say, man, most of the black population ain't mad, man. They kicking it. They be like, they still discovering all the black people that's supposed to be mad is out kicking it in New Chicago. And here I am sitting on the radio talking about back in Dr. Harold Washington, when Mayor Daley had said, I feel like sometimes I'm Ebenezer Scrooge, ghost of Christmas past. I'm ready for Christmas future. And I don't want mine to be the old Ebenezer Scrooge with no family and missing teeth and no haircut. Cause that's how people be winding up, man. When you be fighting for the black people, you wind up losing your teeth, your hair don't never get cut, and you're just mad. Meanwhile, all the other people be like, I'm headed out to Arizona for my winter home. It's a little like right now, it's people fueling up the jet, Reese. It's people fueling up the jet, about to go to their palatial estates, other places.
Yeah, my uncle left and went to Georgia last
week. See, look at that, and I'm here hoeing.
I see y'all in about April. We go,
man, Joe. I was down in Houston though. Right, Reese, I was looking for me a house in Houston right till the water went off. I was like...
You know, and tell me, how many times did your phone go off for an Amber Alert?
It didn't go off forever.
Man, when I was in Houston, I promise you, it was like Amber Alert crazy. The kidnappings, like, you know, like they send you that warning.
Really?
Man, the last time I was in there in March, I'm telling you, it was like every day I had about 2. I was like, dang, they really kidnapping people out here? So, yeah. That's why I was a little afraid to move. Like, man, there's too many Amber Alerts in the time I'm down here.
Hey, wait a minute. We don't got nothing is Facebook here today? Is YouTube here? The YouTubers out there? Okay, yeah, I see them. Right, yeah. We got to get the whole Restream chat going back. Everything is a little mixed up right now because I've been on multiple platforms. But we are back on Restream because that's where we don't got to turn off the broadcast. If somebody drop off, we could just click them off and click them back on and keep everything going. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. Riis, did we get the plane off the ground? All right, we are up and away. Hey, let's fly by Springfield. I don't know if you heard or saw. Riis, do you remember when President Obama went to Springfield to announce that he was going to run for president? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Man, did you go down?
No, man, I was in college.
Now you could have just jetted right across.
Yeah, you're right.
You could have jetted right across. I bet that would have been. Can I tell you what? I bet that was probably an exciting time to be in college. Like, for the first black president, then when y'all realized this dude finna win, like, especially considering from my college years where I was like, it'll never be a black man. I still am not sure if we had one yet.
We went out there and I don't know if this was good or bad, but we went out there and, you know, we threw tissue all on the trees. And then the next day,
that's called TP.
It was like that one black kid that said, the first time we get a black president in here, look what y'all doing. So he out there by himself, like picking up all the toilet paper. Then like all the other black folks started to like join in with him. Like, all right, like we get you, you know. But he was like so disappointed. I was like, we was just having fun.
He was probably the president of the Alphas.
No, he was so mad at black people. So y'all come out there, other people, they president win. Y'all see them throw stuff on the
right, because they got one all the time, damn it.
We was like, all right, he was like, I gotta act like it. So yeah, but yeah, that was one of the funniest moments because, you know, we had all the toilet tissue on the trees, and he was the only one. At first, he was the only one by himself, just bigging it up, and everybody was like, why he doing that? And then he was like, all right, you know what, man, we'll help you out a little bit. But it was a fun time, though.
Riis, I was in D.C. for it. And when I got off the plane, it was crazy because I had tickets and all the stuff. And it was like when I first started to really have political access beyond just Illinois And it was like, Reese, when the president won and you got off the plane in D.C., Joe, you couldn't tell black people nothing. It was like, you turned on the radio, I got in the rental car, it was like, my president is black, my president is black, right? It was Jeezy, it was Jay-Z, like, D.C. was cracking. Anyway, I'm talking all about this because President Obama yesterday got a plaque in Springfield to commemorate the historic announcement that he ran for president, and it was like the anniversary of it. And I was just thinking about that, man, like, how much thought. Did you hear yesterday Brandon snuck in there yesterday that they was disappointed with President Obama too? Like, I feel like, yeah, he snuck it in there too. It's like, I feel like black people quietly be like, like, yes, we had the moment in time, and we kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it was like, Daddy never came. He was looking out the window like, is he coming? Man, he drove by. That was him in the car. That's my daddy. That ain't your daddy. I promise that's my daddy. No, it ain't. He ain't. Why he ain't stopped by and see you? That's just how I felt. Did you see the treasurer released a report that the Cook County assessor's hardest hit areas this go round for property taxes in the city were, guess who? Not the black people, the Latinos. So, Reese, kind of get what you asked for. So if anybody loses their home, Reese, look at my face. That's what you get. I'm not.
You had a chance, huh?
Hey, man, you pick. That's your boy. That's your boy. It be your own people. All right, let that be. Did you see that Illinois is looking to pass an assault weapons ban and raise the legal age to purchase firearms? Reese, I gotta say that I expect that for the next 2 years, J.B. Pritzker in Illinois will propose local solutions to national problems. Okay, so this is one of those times when you go get your pen and paper. If you track the Mastradamus, put this down. For the next 2 years, J.B. Pritzker will propose local solutions to national problems, so that as he enters into the presidential sphere, he can say, we did that in Illinois, right? So you're going to see a series of laws and proposals that will demonstrate, Reese, that JB has the ability to get it done nationally. Why? Because when he was the governor of Illinois, he did it. So when you hear the assault weapons ban, he'll be able to pass that in Illinois because he has super majorities. But when he gets on the national stage and they say, what are you going to do about all the mass shootings? We're going to pass a national assault weapons ban. JB, how are you going to do it? We're going to do a bipartisan work because we did it in Illinois. JB, what are we going to do to protect abortion rights? Well, I'll tell you. We are going to pass laws that are going to protect the rights of women and protect their rights, and we are going to make this the most abortion-friendly country in the world. JB, how are you going to do it? I did it in Illinois. JB, we're going to make cannabis legal. Right, and we're going to free all the black people, and we're going to make all of the other people very rich. And JB, how you going to do it? How you know you can do it? I did it in Illinois. We're going to make gambling legal around the country, and we're going to generate billions of dollars of revenue for local, state, and county revenues while excluding black people. JB, how you going to do it? I'm going to do it because I did it in Illinois. That was a Mastradamus prediction. But all of the national issues that are plaguing us right now, expect, like when you saw JB make the announcement that he retired the debt of our unemployment pension debt, what he's going to be able to do is use that and say, I'm going to go to the federal government and I'm going to decrease our national debt and spending. How are you going to prove it, JB? Because I did it in Illinois. And I did it with bipartisan support because there's only 2 blue counties in Illinois, and we did it with those 2 blue counties, with the support of our Republican.
You got it already, huh?
Riis, look, man, I'm preparing to leave y'all Negroes behind. Hey, man, I'm gonna be out here being mad, and look, y'all gonna run the play. He is going to run the plays and run the playbook and be the next. Now he might not make it to president, but my thing is, Riis, you know how I got this? So here go my thing. I use my superpowers for good. I'm about to use my superpowers to get paid. Because black people be around here, again, having you mad and watch you jump off the cliff. Riis, is that not what JB is going to do? He ain't going to say the part about I cut the black people out. He's going to say, we released more, we fought back on the federal crime bill and released more people and got more people's records expunged than anybody in the country. And we did it while passing cannabis legally. And safest and grew Illinois to be the cannabis capital of the world. But that's not limited to just Illinois. That can happen in every state. Work with me, I'm JB. Reparations, and we'll have a reparations committee. Now we're going to put white people all on that bad boy. Because I think slave owner holders should have a voice in this payment plan since they got theirs the first time. Hey, Riis, did you know reparations was actually for the white people?
Yeah, after they lost their slaves.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know that too.
So, birthright, you know how they do the birthright switch. They could be like, man, next thing you know, reparations will be getting paid to people who... Let me stop. I'm going to stop because I'll be in the letter club. All right, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. I feel like I'm on one. I got my ho-ho-ho sweater on a Thursday when it's and that shit I watched the award yesterday. But it's okay. We're going to have a great show today. I got a lot to talk about. Plus, Riis got news, traffic, and weather. It's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mace Jackson.
Tune in to the Mace Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Mace Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Mace said. We out of here. Peace.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion have to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:33 a.m. And I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland and area sports, traffic, and weather update. As head over to sports, the Bulls let Devin Booker go for 51 as they lose 132 to 113 to the Suns. And the Blackhawks also take a 5-4 loss to the Oilers. Let's head over to traffic now on the Kennedy. Overhead to the Loop will be 25 minutes. Outbound will be 20. On the Edens, inbound from Deerfield to the Exchange and back will be 28 minutes. While the Eisenhower is 30 minutes in both directions. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan is the 30 minutes. Outbound is the same. On the Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 35 minutes, 30 minutes to I-80. And the Dan Ryan is 15 minutes to the Loop, 13 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive South, 55th to Jackson and back will be 7 minutes and 8 minutes north. That's Randolph to Bryn Mawr and Bryn Mawr to Randolph. Today's weather, it's cold, y'all. It's 18 degrees and clear. Today will only be a high of 37 and a low of 17. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Thursday. It's the first of the month. It's the Mace Jackson Show.
From the grave back to glory. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos, y'all. And it is the Maze Jackson Show. Yeah, I'm feeling a kind of way this morning. Ha, ha, ha. It's just done this my ha, ha, ha sweater till next Wednesday when it's my ho, ho, ho sweater. And I might make the 304 of the week. Now, I must be clear that I hijacked that from DJ Riis the Ruler and Toy, right? That's okay. We could call it the mini 304 or the early 304. Now, you make it to the end of the day and they get you. Now, you check them out on Wednesdays, 8:30. Wednesdays, 8:30. It is week 304 Wednesdays, DJ Riis the Ruler. And that Toy Norwood, boy, I gotta tell you, man, I hope her mama don't be on her Facebook page. And if I see one package from Toy Norwood at my house, there will be problems. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? And I get the mail, damn it. I get the mail.
I told her about the P.O. box, so she good.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. And we're going to talk. I just got a text from, first of all, let me back up. Let me say what's up to everybody from WBGX 1570 AM. What's up to the Saints who tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. on WBGX 1570 AM or via the TuneIn app. Now, I want to tell you guys you can call in at 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Now, if you are a sinner or an early rising saint, you can catch us every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. We back on all of them. All of them are back on. So check it out. All right? You do that. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Y'all give us a call, man. I'm going to tell y'all radio people, though. Y'all better start saying, if y'all, look, we going to a new year. I'm already feeling the kind of way. Y'all better make these phone lines ring. Shout out to my man John Austin, who always represents for the WB, for your radio listening audience. John, who is also a charter member at Obsidian. By the way, speaking of Obsidian, right, Riis? I want to make sure people know that while we are having events, it is a members only club. You have to actually be a member of our social club to hang out. We do allow for special events. We are not an alcohol serving venue, although you can bring your own. But you got to be a member, Riis. You ever want a place just to sit and chill and watch the game without people, you know, like you want the fellas, you and the fellas might want to get out the house. So y'all might say, you know what, let's go grab us a table over at Obsidian, let's watch the game, and we put the tea. Or you and the ladies might get together and they might say, hey, we want to have us a little chit chat, have us a glass of wine. Girl, you bring the bottle, I got a spot, I'll get a table. Be like, we got the big screens. No, we got a live band set up. Man, Riis, tomorrow though, I think it's gonna be a slang dang humdinger. She around here telling people they got to take furniture out because she needs space. Did you say that's your cousin? Stephanie Coleman tomorrow? That's your cousin, Stephanie Coleman. Tomorrow, she is having her annual holiday fundraiser at Obsidian. Shout out to Stephanie Coleman for being one of the first black elected officials to step up and show support to what we're doing. As a matter of fact, she said, can I get a locker? Because I'm tired of Soho. I just think it's crazy. Not crazy, but you know, people drive past. All these black people be talking about, you got a place to have a meeting? And everybody want to ask me, can we have a meeting at Soho? Why don't you have a meeting at the black place? Have a meeting at Obsidian. How about that? Come on, see it. Y'all see it on, now you ain't gonna see it in its full glory because Stephanie got all the furniture coming up out of there. Because, you know, she like, take the tables out. Take the chairs out. I'm like, you don't want the people to see the excellent furniture? Take all that out. I need more space. Dang. Yes, ma'am. But it's all good. So check it out. Y'all come check out Alderman Stephanie Coleman tomorrow night, 6 to 9 at Obsidian. Now, she got some crazy. Her tickets are Riis like 150, 500, 1,000, 5,000. But it's okay. Riis, I got to blow you know at the door. Right? So, you ever be at the party, you be like, I know you ain't buy no ticket. I know you did.
These tickets was $1,000.
Yeah, what you doing here? Man, don't blow my cover. I had my homie, one time I remember, the first time I did a fundraiser, like a high-profile fundraiser, the plates were $1,000, right? And this black dude, I say it to every time I see him, my boy Darren, he was like, let me get 4 of them tickets. What? You want 4 $1,000? Man, this food ain't even that good. He was like, it's okay, look, young bro, I got you. I was like, oh, that's how y'all be doing this. Hold on. It's 20 people at this dinner at $1,000 a plate. And the food wasn't even good.
It's either that or it's only this big.
All right, man. Today at 7 o'clock, I want to talk about, did I tell y'all about the fire sale? I know the Mayor Stradamus told y'all about, well, you know the mayor had a literal fire sale? Do you know she is transferring the land? Riis, you know about Abla? You know the Abla homes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Abla homes got torn down and the land is supposed to be rebuilt for the people to come down. The mayor done messed around and this time it ain't for a school. She sold it for a soccer stadium, a soccer training facility. 26 acres, Femo. 26 acres for 50 years for $800,000 a year plus $8 million cash up front. Now, they were supposed to build 700 and something homes, but the people said they'd rather have a soccer training facility. Riis, them people, can I just say this? If you left CHA, I don't think you're really coming back. I really don't. Like, you know how they talk about the plan to return or whatever? I don't really think they want nobody to come back. I really don't. I mean, I think they want a couple people, but not really everybody. How you gonna give up if you have 26 acres of land that is meant to bring people back and you put a soccer training facility on it? I'm not tripping. Cause if it was me, Riis, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'll probably be for the soccer training facility. Cause I really think we gotta start having some realistic conversations with ourselves. Is that fair? Like, it's, and I don't know that public housing as it existed worked. And I think that the fact that it didn't creates the opportunity for them to not let people come back. So we're going to talk about it, though, because I did think it was kind of crazy that, well, it's the fire sale. Riis, the mayor gave up the land, and then 2 months later, dude gave her a check for $25,000. Riis, what happened to bring in the light? But that's okay. I'm going to talk about it at 8 o'clock, at 7 o'clock. But this and guess who she did the fire sale with? The Chicago Fire. Like, she sold, like, it's literally a fire sale.
I like that.
Right? See, I'm telling you, the Mayor Stradamus. Mayor also announced the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund winners. Shout out to Twister GMG. He got money for a dispensary on the west side in the old Muanoink building. Shout out to Twister. You know what? Do me a favor. We probably gonna get in trouble for it, but I need you to find Adrenaline Rush. Right? I need that Adrenaline Rush open has to be one of the coldest openings ever. Do you remember Adrenaline Rush? You don't even know it, Riis. You don't even know. Like, shout out to Twister though, man. Like, you know how you want to talk smack about the mayor and then she put somebody in the mix that you can't really diss, right? Like, I'm happy for like, think about this, man. Think about the fact that we are like 50-something years old now. And it's like I feel like I met Twister when I was like 21, 20. And I remember when he was Tongue Twister, and we used to be at college and see his videos and be like, dang, he from Chicago. Now, I didn't particularly care for Tongue Twister, but when he became Twister, boy, and now just think about this. You know he also do guns too, right? He trains. You find it? You play it. Go ahead. Give it. You guys start it back. Go back. And then you gotta stop it. And you gotta turn me off. And you gotta turn it just straight up. And if they kick us off, y'all gotta promise to come back. Cause I promise you, let me talk and turn it up so they can hear it. Right? We gonna do it. So look, y'all. Shout out to Twister. I'm super happy that he got his money for his dispensary. And so in honor of Twister, a guy from the streets getting government money to fund a cannabis dispensary on the west side of Chicago in the old Moo and Oink spot, Riis, you missing it again. You got to stop it. Stop. Now, go right to the beginning of it. Not take out the him talking about the bloodstream and get ready for the bass drop. And now, this is
the song, right? The song
yeah.
General. Okay.
Yep. Here we go. Shout out to Twister. I'm gonna give it 15 seconds. Ready, set, go.
What happens when you combine the darkness with the light? Bringing pain like two bad nurses, and the pain from these here motherfucking verses.
Come on, come back.
To the dirt shit, first fixing is in autos to work with. Slugs to the shirt shit, chest of squirt shit. I'm making it with an expert kid from birth to the earth split.
All right, I didn't realize that, but come back. Like, I need you to bring it back when let it play. You got to be listening to it. And when he start rapping, bring it back up real quick, and then we going to see how long we can hold with it. All right, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. That was Young Buck from Psychodrama. Man, come on.
No pain instead of cane, I took a blood off to the head.
So tell me what it's
retaliate with lethal repercussion. I feel the reefer rushing and go into things like it's a wicked stick. If the Benadryl, how back I finna steal to get the kicking shit for niggas and bitches that I kick it with.
Alright, man. Shout out to Twister, man. Man. That cut was, man, bro. I had a truck with 412s across the back. It was the Rockefeller truck. Man, when we played that, like you pulled up out west and you played that, Joe, it was like the whole west, the whole Madison and Pulaski emptied out. Shout out to Twister, GMG. Shout out to all of those guys. Does he still rock with the Speed 9 Mobsters too?
I know the last time I seen him, he was just with his people.
With man, be hype. I remember Speed 9 Mobsters, Maze. Remember, me and Maze used to argue because I was the Maze in Chicago and he was the Maze. He was MAYZ and I'm MAZ. Anyway, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host. Shout out to Twister for getting his cannabis money for cannabis dispensary. Whistleblower cop claims firing because he refused to got demoted from being a sergeant detective to midnight shifts because they shot an autistic kid and he refused to lie and say that the cop was the victim. Hakeem Jeffries, well, I don't know if y'all remember Hakeem Jeffries. He was the whip, the House whip. Yesterday it was voted that the House transitioned its power and the first Black American, and I think it was very important. It was interesting to see in the story that they delineated that he was the first Black American Speaker of the House, or minority leader, which essentially positions him to be the Speaker of the House if Democrats take control back. But I thought it was interesting that he didn't call himself African American. He called himself Black American in the press release and in the conference. And I think when I talked to Hakeem Jeffries a while back, Riis, it was like, you know how you talk to somebody, you know they Black, like they doing their thing, but they Black. Like he is a hip hop child. Like, straight up, Biggie, Brooklyn, we was talking about all the... I told you about this before. But anyway, congratulations to Hakeem Jeffries. And shout out to Robin Kelly, who years ago brought him to the morning show and said this guy is going to be somebody. So shout out to that as well. And then the Chicago Elite Classic this weekend. Shout out to doctors. Shout out to the Whitakers for putting on what may be the premier holiday tournament of the year. Man, I'm looking at this roster of games. I'm wondering if I can get them to get somebody to come in. Can I get some coaches? Man, can I get somebody to come in and talk about the Chicago Elite Classic? Man, can I get Mike Irvin? Somebody. Hey, man, who's the best high school team? We need to call the Bigs, too. Maybe I'll call the Bigs up and say, hey, Gino, what's going on with this Chicago Elite Classic? I need to understand. Because, Reese, I don't know if anybody got any better basketball high school than Chicago. Like, real talk, not the suburb. No, I mean Chicago and the suburbs. Like, I know they got Sierra Canyon, right, where they recruit from the whole. But, like, straight up, you got Kenwood, St. Rita, Whitney. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, perennial powerhouses and people going to the league. Anyway, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Reese, that is my headlines. And now, I got a question, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Reese, yesterday talking to Brandon Johnson and then going through the list of candidates, candidates for mayor, really got me to really thinking about the Chicago that I know and love. And there's this recurring theme I have with the new Chicago. Like, what is the new Chicago? And then talking to Brandon Johnson yesterday, I know a lot of people was like, he did a lot of preaching and a lot of pontificating. But I feel like he didn't say anything that was, like, outlandishly crazy to me, right? And when I think of progressives, I think of the purple-haired ladies that are really Karens dressed up that get to come to our meetings because they say they're progressive. But then I looked at people like you and I look at people like Ruthie, and I think to myself, Reese, the question. And the question today, if you hit me with the button, I think I'm ready to drop it. Ready?
It's time for the social media question of the day.
How progressive is Chicago? And are we the city that still works? Are we still the city that works? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. I really think that Chicago has moved past me in some ways. I'll give you an example. I listen to you and Ruthie a lot during the show. Like I listen to y'all a lot. And I think a lot of times I'm confused. Not confused, but I feel like I'm out of place. Or I just don't get it. A lot of times. I feel like I really just don't get it. I feel like we have a lot of the same issues. Now, probably not economically, only because I got some years and some work. But I feel like when we get on this show and we have these conversations, and as ticked off and everything as I am, I don't have the mentality of burn it down or bust it all up. I feel like we have the same issues, but our approach is different. I was thinking about somebody, I was talking to a dad the other day, and he was telling me about his kid took a job where he felt like it was racist. And as he described the situation, I got to tell you, I was like, I've been through that. I went through it, I worked through it, and now I'm kind of me. Now, some of it was chalked up to racism. Some of it, in my estimation, is you gotta pay some dues. You gotta get some experience. You gotta be able to back up what you talk about. Like, physically, if nobody else does it, can you do it? And so my question now is, and I'm angry a lot, but I gotta work through it. I don't know that I have the same mindset that it's burn it down. It's more like work through it, right? Like some stuff you got to tough through it, and then you got to climb up, and then you get to the top, and then you finally, like, when you get to the top of that heap, you remember all the things that you didn't like, and you don't do that to other people. And you try to drag them up the hill, but there is some dignity in work. And I don't know if our city is built that way anymore. Like, and I don't know that it's not work, but I feel like, you know, kind of like, not the Grabowskis, but like, hey man, I get up, work hard every day. I may not like my job, but I got the weekend, and I'm going to bust my tail, and I'm going to put, mama work hard, and I'm going to, like, regardless of the things that I have to work through, I have to work through these things because I want to make a way to a better life for me or my children. And I don't know that Chicago is that anymore. I think Chicago has probably become a city of the haves and the have-nots. But I think a lot of these progressive ideas take out the value of hard work to progress. Now, I still like, so I ask, like, when I think of the city that works, I still, even to this day, don't think of McDonald's as anything more than a part-time job. Not a part-time job, a minimum wage job, unless you are in management. I think that I don't believe that working at a job that has a finite value means that you are owed a better life. I think a better life comes from working harder or working smarter, but putting in the time, energy, and effort that it requires to raise yourself up. I don't know that I believe that you can get anywhere without work. Now, what kind of work it is really determined by you, your education level, or your access to education. Now, that doesn't discount poor schooling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not suggesting those. But is there still a value to work as a work as a means of progression out of your situation in Chicago? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Is Chicago still the city that works, and how progressive are we? How much are citizens owed for just being here? Right? Like, what is the city's responsibility to take care of you? Does the city have a responsibility to take care of you? And what does that look like? I would say that we were probably, whether you disagree or not, you call them racist, but people are now fighting for the homes or the housing that they wanted to tear down because they called it racist. The housing projects, for instance, and I don't mean that as a diss, I mean it as, in this super hyper progressive society that we live in, are we fighting to reclaim things that we already had? Does Chicago still work? And how progressive are we? You know, I was thinking about people talking about universal basic income. And that is a progressive idea, in my estimation. But does it reward does it replace work? Does it replace the city that, and I'm not saying it's not the thing that closes the gap, but what is the responsibility and what is the city's responsibility or the government's responsibility to provide for your lifestyle? What's the basics? And what responsibility do you have in your own life for your circumstances and situation? I must tell you, for me, I recognize, and I'm not saying that minimum wage shouldn't be a minimum wage. I'm down with whatever they determine the minimum wage is. But I also recognize that there is a finite value to every job. Should you be able to raise a family of 4 working at McDonald's? No, you should not. Even if you work 40 hours a week. That is not realistic. Now, what responsibility do you have to work for your scenario? Now, is it that you got to do a job that you don't like? I don't know. I was thinking about yesterday when he talked about the universal basic income being permanently funded. How does that work? And is there still dignity in work? It's the Mays Jackson Show. How progressive has Chicago become? Are we still the city that works? I don't know. Riis, you think we still the city that works?
Oh yeah, I think we work. I think we just changed on how we work now. I think we kind of work a little smarter, you know.
It's interesting.
But still look crooked. I think we always going to be one of the crookedest cities.
Okay, so I feel like when people say they work smarter, it often is they think they're working smarter. If you were to ask their boss, their boss would be like, "No, this is some BS." But because because it's a terrible workplace, I got to accept this. I don't I often who says it's smarter, the employee or the boss? And who makes the determination? Because oftentimes the employees feel like they determine what the work is that the boss needs. And then the boss just be like, you know what? Let me just cover the difference because I got, right now, I might get worse. Who determines what's smarter? The employee or the boss?
That's a good point.
It's the Mays Jackson Show. We're going to take this, we'll be back after these messages. We're going to talk about the mayor's fire sale. But I still want to hear from you. Are we the city that still works? It's the Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mays Jackson.
Caller, you on the Mays Jackson Show? What's up?
Hi, this is Katie. How are you?
Hey! Okay, hold on. I'm going to make an official nomination right now that we make Katie the new president of the phone club. Riis, can I get a second from you, man?
I second it.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. Everybody tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. If you vote that Katie should be the new president of the phone club, please signify by saying aye. The ayes have it. Congratulations, you are now the new president of the phone club. Katie from Ashburn.
We did it. We did it. You're going to be the next president.
How you doing, boss lady?
Thank you. Fine. Thank you. I accept that nomination. Thank you.
All right. You got drafted.
Maze Jackson.
It's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out there. Peace.
To the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed us all.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, on the ones and twos. And oh my God, did you see this LeBron clip? Oh, I wanted to get away from all this, but we got to talk about it in a minute. But anyway, I was asking, is Chicago still the city that works? Right? I'll kind of take like the Chicago city that works meant, hey, man, we don't really do too much complaining. We put our heads down, we get the job done, and we build great things. We do our thing, and we make a life the way that it is. I was looking at some of these comments, and so people were asking me, Maze, do you provide your employees health care and insurance, and I want to be clear, no, I don't. And as a person who launched Get Covered Illinois and Obamacare in Illinois, what I am clear about is that everyone can get health care depending on your employment. So you can go to Obamacare and say, my job, Mays Jackson, is a small business owner who does not provide health care, which is covered in the law, right? Because I don't really have any full-time employees. But you can go to Obamacare, Get Covered Illinois, during the enrollment period, which is what we're in right now, provide your income, and they will provide you a health care package for you and your family that is pretty reasonable based on your income. Because, again, I think oftentimes many people who do not own businesses often just count everybody else's money, right? So I saw somebody say, well, McDonald's serves billions a day and I can't feed my family. Use your employee discount and take your employee meal home, right? And for billions of dollars a day, there are billions of dollars in expenses a day, of which one is employees, right? Now, McDonald's, in my estimation, has one of the best packages for low income, for people who are there. And McDonald's provides you a way up and out. McDonald's doesn't say come here and be a crew member for the rest of your life. There is a path. It is crew member, crew trainer, crew chief, shift manager, right? And as you demonstrate on each one of those levels, then you climb up in your income. And I think that there's no correlation now between work and income. It is, people believe that I will tell you what, there is no substitute for hard work. There just isn't. And whether you use your brain or whether you use your hands. And if you find a way to work smarter, then it means you have more time to do more things. Not, I worked smarter and then I'm done. And that's why I get to this whole, is it still the city that works? Caller, you on the Mays Jackson Show. Caller, you on the Mays?
Good, Pete.
What up, Devo? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I just want to definitely say, man, hey, that's a nice little sweater you got there, man. That's real player right there.
It's my South Carolina sweater.
Oh, shots fired. But hey, man, I just want to say good morning to the family. I'm going to wear it to
the Cox game, too.
Hey, man. Hey, everybody in the family, hey, y'all, if y'all can just take a moment of y'all time to wish my lovely wife happy birthday today.
Happy birthday! What? Tell the first lady. Where's she at? She ain't on the phone? I could have put it on. I'm going to put her in the
She getting ready to get Tegan up and out to school, man. So, thank you to her. I love my wife so much. And she is truly my motivation to make things better in this world because she's a good person. You know what I'm saying? But also, hey, man, you got to get up and work, man. Everybody got to get up and work. I think one of the things that we kind of got played on during the whole, Superfly, pimp and all that stuff, man. Hey, even the pimp had to get up and work. But what it did was it kind of made the brothers kind of soft. And we, some people look down at the people that had to go to the factory and go grind and go get it. And now we got soft people that just don't want to get up and go work and go do nothing. If you don't work, you don't eat. That's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So we come from a lineage of people whose work was exploited in a very horrendous, terrible way. But at our core, we feel like we want to go out there and go get it, man. So, you just got and parents, please teach your children work ethic, man. And that's you bring the brothers back into the house, and that'll teach the kids that you got to get up and go to work, man. Nothing against the ladies, nothing against the sisters, but brothers, man, y'all got to teach these boys how to go work, man. Because this hustling, this rapping, we need people that can build water filtration plants. We talk about this infrastructure problem. Man, it just goes down the line. But I'm going to wrap this up and land the plane with this. Hey, Riis. Hey, man, I'm on you, bro. That thing yesterday, that wasn't cool, man. I got all the smoke for Riis the Ruler.
What happened?
You know what I'm talking about.
What'd he do?
Hey, man, I can't put nation business out there like that. Riis know what's on. I'm coming to Bowfield. I'm spending some money. I'm spending some money at Bowfield. I'm going to wear the championship belt, and I'm coming for your squad, son. I'm coming for you, bro.
Uh-oh.
It's on, dog.
Uh-oh.
You know what about me, never love to love.
All right. Okay.
Hey, love, man. Love y'all, man. Love y'all.
Wifey,
hey,
happy birthday.
Winterfest. Thank you. Hey, Winterfest, when y'all see it, get your tickets. Shout out to the committee, man. Love y'all, man. Winterfest is going down.
Ain't it the 23rd?
Peace. I'm out landing the plane, dog.
The 23rd?
Yeah, 23rd.
23rd of December. Don't miss the BP1 Winterfest. Is going to be on and popping. Once again, Obsidian cracking. But again, you got to be, man, we going to be like OTF. Only the fam. Hey, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. What's up, caller? Are we still the city that works?
Hey, good morning, Maze.
Good morning. Who there?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yo, this Jay. I used to listen to WVON, man, some years ago, and I kind of seen that you guys moved to YouTube about 6 months ago, and I subscribed and I kind of listen in periodically. But I just wanted to call in because this topic, it kind of so basically you guys inspired me, a lot of WVON and everything like that. You guys inspired me to go back to school. And so, I've been in school and I, been working really hard and everything like that, bro. And one thing that I'm starting to really see is that a lot of things is, especially I just think for like, black males, it's always told that, we need to work hard and all this type of stuff. And trust me, bro, like, I'm not going to say too much about how I've been working, but, I've been to college and all this type of stuff, graduated in the program right now, still working my butt off, man. But the thing is, what I'm starting to really see, man, is a lot of it, this stuff is structural, man. Seriously, and the further I go up the ladder, and I start to interact with different people, I see the way that they stick together. You know what I'm saying? And I see the way that we do not stick together, and they have certain little secret things that they that they like I got put on by different groups of people. I got put on and put in a great position that I'm in right now. But what I, like I was saying, bro, a lot of this stuff is structural. It's always, we always kind of being told as black men that, oh man, it's something internal. It's internal, but as a person who have studied psychology, have studied sociology and laws and all this type of stuff, I'm starting to really see, man, a lot of this stuff is external, and we need to start. And I've worked in many different fields, bro. And I see the way certain groups they got like a monopoly damn near on certain things. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with.
And I see the way that I'm telling you, man. And you know what I'm saying? Me, I'm 28, man. But I started listening to WVON when I was 21. Like I said, y'all inspired me. I always was inspired to go back to school, but it was a financial issue. I didn't have the money to do it. But so I didn't have roommates. I didn't, sold my car, everything, trying to better my life, bro. But I really see at this point now that, man, it's about working together as a group and then having an organization, having rules. It's like a lot of these young dudes, it's crazy, man. But it's structural, man. It's a lot of this stuff is external, and just us as men, we never ever address the external. And I think that's a big problem. Trust me, bro. I come from the projects. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about me. I come from the projects, man. Foster care, all that stuff, man. I've been working my ass off to pull myself up by my own.
Take us off that speaker, man.
Can you hear me better now?
Much.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, man, I come from foster care, group homes, all that stuff, man. Been in trouble, all that stuff for the project, man. And when I was 20, I decided I got inspired to go back to school, and like I said, I never had the money to really do it, and just been having ups and downs, but I'm more say on the upside now, but it really saddens me when I walk outside of my apartment area or going to work or going to school and stuff, and I just see all these homeless black people. I'm just like, oh my God, like what the hell has happened? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm starting, like I said, I'm starting to really see it's more structural things going on that's in play, and we never really address it. I'm starting to see how other people, they kind of organize and then they dominate the field of whatever it is that they're going into. And also our culture for the lower socioeconomic status black man, that's like our culture does not almost reward a black man like me who didn't come from a middle class background, and I'm working my ass off to try to, but there ain't no ladder really. So I get put on from other different groups. They see how hard I'm working, and then they put me on, and that's what I'm starting to see. Oh, this is how they doing this. This
exactly.
is how they doing that.
And Carla, let me jump in right there. I think that's because we don't have what I try to talk about here regularly, an ecosystem, a pipeline, a path. Now the challenge is oftentimes if they're in the realm of the ecosystem or the path, when you put someone on the path, they may not even recognize they're on the path because they like, man, I should be where you at. And so they busy looking at you like, Nick, I'm as good as you. No, family, I'm way down the path. And if you don't give me the opportunity to put you on the path and show you the things that I'm trying to show you to get you to this step, it often is because quite frankly, it often is other groups that put you on because the black people busy trying to hold on and trying to prove that they ain't black, and the white folks get points for the white folks want to have a story to tell so that they can then go back and say, hey man, I mentored this young poor kid, which absolves them of their everything else. Look, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. I just am curious, is Chicago still the city that works? I think when we lost a lot of the labor jobs and we lost a lot of the manufacturing jobs, that whole mantra kind of went away. And I do think the dynamic of the workplace has changed. But I still, even in the dynamic of the workplace that has changed, I still think there is no substitute for hard work. And I don't think that you can work smarter. If you work smarter, you'll wind up working harder because you'll find more things to do. And I like to work smarter, not harder. But the challenge is working smarter, not harder makes people think that they don't have to work. Like if I pay you for 8 hours and you figure out how to do the job in 2 and you're an employee, not a business, then it's different. And I very often think that when we have these conversations, people do not connect profitability to employment. They just think it's a magic money tree. If it don't make no money, it's not really a business. It's really a hobby, right? So when you ask me, do I pay my employee? This is a hobby. If it was, if it was a business, then I would charge you for what is happening. There would be an economical fee and there would be a budget that says this percentage of my income goes to this. No, other businesses finance the hobbies. Got it? So be clear when I talk about the city that works. I don't know. I think we're so caught up in smarter, not harder, that we've almost lost the work because everybody's so busy trying to outsmart the job that they're paid to do, trying to do it smarter when it's, no fam, it's walk from here to here. You can try and figure it out 3 different ways, but it's the job that needs to be done. And smarter is generally, that is something that employees say. Because if you ask the bosses, if the smarter, the employees that are working smarter are really doing what the employer needs, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, no, it's smarter for them, not for my business. It's the Mays Jackson Show. Look, y'all, I want to move on to the mayor's fire sale. And I want to encourage you all to call in. I know I got some housing experts and some community people. Is that a call for the same topic? Caller, you're on the Mays Jackson Show. I'm going to let you take this. I'll talk to this topic, and then we're going to move to the fire sale. What's up, caller? Caller?
Hi, Nate. This is Don, and I'd like to know where do the meetings take place on the first Saturday of the month?
It's now the second Saturday of the month, and they take place at Obsidian, which is located at 5401 South Wentworth at 10:30 a.m. 5401. It's the strip mall at 55th and the Dan Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. It's the Mays Jackson Show. Anybody else up there? Okay. Callers, let's talk about the mayor's fire sale. Reese, do you know who Joe Mansueto is? Joe Mansueto is a multi-billionaire businessman who has invested significantly in Chicago. One of the things that I recognize a lot of times, Reese, when people want to make billion-dollar plays, is they got billions, they make small $1 million or $100,000 investments. I think that I tried to talk to you all. Dag, Emmanuel, you dragged me back. Okay, I'm going to say this real quick. Emmanuel says that's backwards, Maze. The best technology advancements were made from the smarter employees. I agree, but they probably spent more time working on it, right? So at a certain point, you're going to invest time like they probably work 12 or 30 or 50 or 60 or because they have an intellectual curiosity about the job that they're doing that they love, so they spend more time doing it. Right? So I would give you, for instance, the person that makes the computer program that changes the world is not doing it because he wants to make the company millions more dollars. He's doing it because he loves what he or she does, and the time and the clock is not their interest. I would argue with you that when the cotton gin was formed, right? They say Eli Whitney did it. A freedman made the cotton gin. It didn't decrease the amount of work. It didn't decrease the amount of cotton that slaves had to bring in, did it? No, it meant that now that we can peel it more, y'all got to go do more work. Come on, man. Yeah, like, again, what you're arguing is technology increases your efficiency to allow you to do more things with the time you have. I don't do a job and say the computer does this, so now I don't have to do anything. Once the computer takes the job, my job moves. Or I got to be writing programs for the computer to take the next step. But let's be clear. Technology does not absolve you of work. It means just because it doesn't take you 3 hours to do a math problem because you can do it on your iPhone doesn't mean now you don't have, because it would have normally taken you 3 hours. Now you got 2.5, you got 2 hours and 59 minutes to throw off. It means I need you to go do something else. Yes? Technology makes the work that you're doing more efficient so you can go do something else to continue to increase the business. And again, Reese, if I pay a staff, if you work at McDonald's and the rush is over, you don't just get to stand around and not work. You need to find things to do. You need to bag the lettuce. You need to cut the tomatoes. You need to prep the grill. You need to warm the eggs. Please understand me. And this is where I feel like you send people into the workforce screwed up. So now people coming into the workforce thinking, I'm smarter than the job. I figured out how to mop the floor, so now I'm going to go hide in the closet for 4 hours. I didn't give you a waxer so you could wax less floors. The buffer wasn't created so that you could do less floors. It was so you could do more floors in less time. The person who thought of the floor buffer wasn't thinking, oh my God, how do I stop buffing floors? He said, how can I make more money buffing floors and get more done? Y'all, hey man, I'm just telling you the concept of this is why I ask, are we still the city that works? If anybody truly believes that because you have technology, it means you have to do less work, it's probably why everybody's always trying to start a black business and then wind up going to find Juan Pablo. Because everybody telling you what they ain't got to do or how they figured it out. Are we still the city that works? I'm not sure. But we'll talk about it more later. I want to move on to the mayor's fire sale. But Emmanuel, you threw me off, man. Like y'all got it twisted. And it's like I'm scared that this is what enters into the place. And so we can't get ahead because everybody's so busy trying to outsmart the work that we need to do. So everybody always trying to tell me about the shortcut when some things just got to be done a certain way to get them done. It's the Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
You'll never regret. And you, with your pretty brown eyes, I knew, baby, you would change my life. And you opened up my eyes to see I'm excited for our future, but I love our history. Let's throw back to the day that we first met. Let's throw back, I never will forget. Let's throw back to when we fell in love. Let's throw back, babe. I wanna throw back, babe. Is it just me? Don't you miss those nights sexing on the beach, playing Isley Brothers in between the sheets? And now we're taking flights from London to Belize, and we're popping bottles, endless shopping sprees. Still sexy as can be. I knew you're still the only one for me. Yeah, I'm feeling lucky as can be. I'm excited for our future, but I love our history. Yeah, to the day that we first met. Let's throw back. I really wanna know. Let's throw back. Let's go back. making love. Let's reminisce to the first time we let's reminisce of the when we were making love. Making love. Come on now. Let's throw back. Oh, all I wanna do is throw it back. That's all I wanna do. Come on now. Let's throw back, babe. I wanna throw back, babe. Let's throw back, everybody. Let's throw back. If you love somebody, let's throw back. Talk about the love. Let's throw back. Let's throw. I wanna throw back. Reminisce on how it used to be. Oh yeah.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Wake up in the morning with the frown on my face, cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals, but as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know. Why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man. God, I hate this song. I hate this song. I hate this song. I feel like, I hate this song. I feel like it's, I don't know, man. I think we set ourselves up for failure, but it's okay, because, you know what? Okay, so I got to go back into this Black Agenda group thing, too, because I'll be looking at these comments, and I really don't want to do the whole Maze show. But check this out, right? So the Black Agenda group says the man who's quit hard. There's no substitute for hard work. Says the man who's quitting. You can't quit a hobby. You can't quit a hobby. Like Black Agenda group, you're right. Like you can't quit a hobby. Like my thing is this, right? And then it's like, when you say stuff like that, right? Like again. Nobody really determines. This was a sacrifice that I chose to make, and then somebody tells you, well, you got to keep sacrificing. You keep spending your money. Like I'll go in the mailbox. Like there is nothing that prohibits anyone from, like, Riis, one of the things that my problem in life is that I expect people to do what I would do. You wouldn't have to ask me. You don't, 9 times out of 10, nobody has to ask me to help. Nobody has to ask me to participate. Nobody has to ask me to pick up, nothing. I'm in. And what I've come to recognize is people don't operate the same way. People operate from the standpoint of until they can use you up. And then when you off to the thing, then you be like, that's selfish. Like, I shouldn't enjoy my life. I should wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning so you can be entertained. Throw rocks. Right? And then diss me for, like, again, and I really, it be those things, right? And it's like, this is how the world is bizarro to me. And it's part of the reason that I, again, take those moments. I'm not leading. I don't proclaim to be a leader. I don't proclaim to be the black. You know what happens to black leaders? Black people conspire to get them shot or killed. I'm not a black leader. I'm not. I get on here. I'm the Maestradamus. I tell y'all stuff for your edification. Right? Like a public service. And then the public service is now is an obligation. Which again, I'm not tripping. But like when a person says enough, it's interesting to me. I know I do get you stirred up every day, and I get myself stirred up, Junior. And I get myself stirred up, and then Junior, just like you say, the rest of Black Chicago ain't mad like me, like us here on this show. It's part of my whole premise of, are we still the city that works? Because again, I'm walking. I feel like, do I need to get me a 3 hat? Because this is a different world for me. And I don't know that there is a path forward this way. Like this only makes me not be able to help where I think I could be most effective. Right? Like I'm talking smack, but realistically, we have the first time in our recent history the opportunity to not be under to elect black aldermen that are for us. Remember that group I was telling you about yesterday, Riis? Turns out that group that was being headed up with the business leaders is really another pack for Mayor Lightfoot. It is to control the aldermen to make sure that we don't elect free-thinking black aldermen. So what I come to realize was that, well, I ain't going to reveal my sources, but my sources tell me that the pack that we talked about that I thought was business leaders taking a pass or stepping into the game is really people hedging their bets in the event. It's Mayor Lightfoot's allies safely hedging their bets because they're still eating well with Mayor Lightfoot. But they want to hedge their bets. But how control happens. Remember white people have choices, black people don't. So essentially, they're saying we can't, even if we don't have a strong mayor, we got to round them up and keep the fear still. So again, there's a lot that we need to be taking a look at. But before that, I want to go back to this fire sale because I still ain't got to it yet. Alderman, somebody need to call Ray Lopez. We need to call Ray Lopez up and see if he can talk about this real quick. Hold on. I'm going to text him while I'm sitting here. But I don't know if you all... All right. So one of the biggest things that has been happening in the city of Chicago, I told you, was that there was going to be a fire sale for Mayor Lori Lightfoot as she got closer to re-election and as the money dried up. Now, if you were to listen to the mayor's campaign, they would tell you that they've got money, they're on TV, and they're ready to rock and roll. But I would tell you that the number for the mayor right now is $25,000. All right. I think it's important, and I'd rather not mess this story up. So I'm really waiting on Alderman Ray Lopez to give us a call. Our guy Ray Lopez, who was the first person to point out, Riis, be on the lookout on the phone line because he should be calling any minute. on the live line, I believe we have right now to break down what is happening. 15th Ward Alderman and friend of the Mays Jackson Show, Alderman Ray Lopez. Alderman, are you there?
Mays, good morning to you and to your listeners.
Good morning, man. Good morning. I just want to throw this out here real quick. Hey, y'all, this is all 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez, who is running for re-election, friend of the show, one of the first people to call, the first person to call out the harm that was being done to the black community during the uprisings. I must tell you that there are a lot of members of our show that were disappointed to find out that you were not running for mayor. I don't know how in the hell you did it, but you got the What's in It for the Black People audience looking to vote for LGBTQ Latino male, which is probably all the things that we talk about. But Ray, you have proven to be a friend of the show. And so I just wanted to understand what the hell is going on with this latest fire sale? Because I think that there's a fire sale going on at City Hall, and $25,000 seems to be the number. Talk to me.
Well, first off, Mays, let me just say that I am very appreciative of the audience and those who support What's in It for the Black People wanting me, because they know that I know that my heart's in it for the black people as well. So thank you. But yesterday, I issued a letter to the Inspector General and to the Board of Ethics asking them to investigate Lori Lightfoot and her campaign for receiving a $25,000 donation, coincidentally, from a gentleman she just sold 26 acres of CHA-owned land so that he could build a practice stadium for his Chicago Fire soccer team. But Joe Mansueto received a sweetheart deal from CHA at the behest of the mayor, and if that doesn't reek of pay-to-play politics, everything that she championed against, everything that she's railed against, I don't know what is. And I hope that they can determine whether or not any laws or ethics violations were made and adjudicate them accordingly.
Now, Alderman, I thought that it was illegal. So as a lobbyist, we're not supposed to take anything or give or promise anything of value pre, post, or during when we are negotiating something. How does this guy get to give $25,000, and where does it go? Because isn't there a contribution limit too to people that do business with the city?
Anyone who's doing business with the city is forbidden from giving anything more than $1,500 6 months ahead of whatever business is being considered, or 6 months after. And he clearly went above and beyond that limit. But also the fact that the mayor was ardently pushing for this. We know she was in communication with him and his team. And just within 2 months to get $25,000 to her campaign after selling the property doesn't pass the smell test. Now, Stevie Wonder could see what's going on here.
Some people, though,
we know what was going on.
Alderman, but some people would say $25,000 is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things for a $26 million, well, for an $8 million deal with $800,000 a year. Why do you think what makes it smell funny? Do you think $25,000 is worth something that big? Like, why would it go so cheap?
You know, whether it was $25 or $25,000 or $1 million, it's still wrong. And Lori Lightfoot has made it not only her career, but her campaign to say she was bringing in the light. She was ending the Chicago way of doing things. You know, all aldermen are bad because they play games, you know, when it comes to I'll help you if you help me. And here it is in broad daylight, the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, doing exactly the same thing. The hypocrisy is stunning because you and I both know if this was Ed Burke getting $25,000 from Mansueto for building a school or property, she'd be on the podium banging her fist, calling him corrupt. Change the names, the story's still the same. The outcome should be just as well.
So now let me ask this, because this is the other part that really makes me understand. So this was old CHA land, right? I thought that there was something in the law that said that the land from CHA was supposed to be guaranteed to build homes to bring the people back. What did the CHA residents say about this? How did that work? And like, is that, does the Fed say, like, I guess my question is, how do you take land that was supposed to be for citizens, and we talk about this love of affordable housing in the city of Chicago, and then turn it into 26 acres into a soccer field. You can't find 26 contiguous acres in the city of Chicago. So where are they going to put them people that they said was coming back?
Well, this was all in connection to the old Obla homes and the guarantee that thousands of people would have housing that were displaced when those homes were torn down. And the CHA, which is made up of the mayor's appointees, approved this land swap. They approved moving forward. The CHA, the city's allies, were told by CHA representatives that CHA residents were in full support, even though they couldn't prove it with any documentation, because I believe my colleague Alderman Moore even asked for resident letters saying that they supported this deal. We were told during the zoning committee that, don't worry, it's there, we got it, even though they never produced it, which is why it was initially voted down by the city council, only to have Lori Lightfoot ask Chairman Tunney to bring it back up the very next day at the 11.5 hour before the city council was set to meet to redo the vote to push it forward again, which she did. And it was passed later that day, 37-11. But the question is, will the federal government, which guaranteed the land for housing...
Hold on. Are you calling the feds out on this one?
This is a matter that involves them and their land too, doesn't it?
You're kind of right, man. You're kind of right. When you're right, you're right. Now, how is the mayor's office responding to this? Because they said that there is a firewall. Now, this what got me. They said there's a firewall between governments and politics and the decision making. Do we have any evidence that there was? Go ahead.
Was there a firewall when the mayor threw out the RFP for the Chicago casino, only to give it to Bally's that incorporated her landlord/donor Al Friedman as a temporary casino site?
Oh my goodness!
I doubt it. That firewall is probably a matchstick when it comes to how the government and how her campaign is working.
So now this draws me to another question, Alderman, because it seems like with not a lot of money, the mayor seems to be pulling up all types of fundraising tactics. We see this new aldermanic PAC, which I'm finding out is really that we saw in the paper the other day, which I found out yesterday is really a PAC that is supposed to support aldermen to battle CTU and the aldermen that are going to support the mayor. We saw this 77 committee being formed where people who are getting city contracts are now soliciting donations. This kind of reeks of desperation. Then I think about kind of this filing that we saw happen where she keeps changing all the rules. You know, we've been in politics a long time, so we know how filing goes. The boss is supposed to show up on the first day with the most signatures, the biggest pile, the whole thing, and it's supposed to be a big show. It seems like the mayor is not living up to the mayoral standards that we've seen in the past. What am I missing here?
No, I think you're absolutely right, Mays. The mayor is trying to purport herself to be the boss who isn't a boss while not being able to act like a boss. And we have seen, more specifically to your question about those PACs, is that, you know, her moral license has been compromised. And in her desperation to hold on to power, she's bending the rules, which by most standards means breaking the law, so that she can get as much money, resources, and help possible. The rules are in place to prevent city contractors from having to give excessively to political candidates or to the mayor, treasurer, and others to keep politics out of their business. And when you create a new committee that creates basically a Chicago-style dark money machine, just so that you can squeeze those contractors who otherwise normally would be limited to donating to $1,500, you are opening up a whole new door in Chicago politics in terms of fundraising that's questionable, probably illegal, and 100% unethical. And this coming from the person who ran under the banner of reform shows you that even those most committed to good government can and will be corrupted if they allow themselves to become that way.
Ray, excuse me, Alderman, explain to me the squeeze, though, because I'm not exactly sure my audience understands how a PAC could squeeze a business, like a mayoral associated PAC can squeeze a business that's doing business, and how that works.
Well, right now, the city law says that if you are a business doing business with the city of Chicago, let's say you have a contract for landscaping or at the airports or the water department, the most you can give any candidate is $1,500, and that's it. They can't ask you for thousands, regardless if you have a contract for $50,000 or $50 million. That's it, $1,500. But this new PAC that the mayor has created, since it goes outside of the scope of being for a particular candidate and addresses itself as an issue-based committee, now is free of any limit, but assuming that firewall, that matched firewall still exists, you know that there are people within government paying attention to whether or not you are being supportive to the side cause of the mayor's administration. And we have seen where this administration has been very vindictive to those who don't go along. And I'm sure pressure will be put on those who have millions of dollars in government contracts to pony up.
She done,
or lose their contract.
She done started a new mob, man. It's like politics. Like, you know, it's funny to me, Alderman, and I know you, and a little later on, I'm gonna talk about the Exodus of the Three Kings, and one of the people that I think I've always associated you with was Chairman Burke, and I think I was just going through my history, and I think, you know, my understanding of Chicago politics honestly comes through the lens of kind of that older way. What the mayor is doing here seems to be what they were trying to accuse Chairman Burke of, but there's no business. Like, they're not even soliciting for a business. Help me understand this. And how is this happening with nobody really saying very much?
Well, I think that's the real question, Mays. And, you know, the fact that this donation was reported and went unreported in media until I made it, you know, a complaint is remarkable. Just how complicit sometimes mainstream media can be because of their fear of the mayor or being cut out of the newsroom. But you are 100% correct.
Man.
Whether it was asking a donation for a permit from a business, or asking contractors who want to keep their city taxpayer-funded contracts flowing for money, the issue is still the same. You are demanding a contribution in return for public financing or for public projects or for public contracts. That is illegal. And whether you benefit directly or indirectly, if that is your goal, that is certainly unethical. And I think that we're going to see more people standing up. I think what is so remarkable about what I did yesterday is that this is the first time a mayor has faced a complaint like this, of this size, from an alderman in my memory. And I don't think this will be the last, because there are a number of other instances where you have seen the same pattern go unrecognized by media. But I can guarantee you this. What I've learned from my citywide campaign is that Chicagoans do believe in their city. They believe in their government that should work for them, and they want to see someone make it happen. And if I do that as alderman, all the better.
Alderman, you know what, man? You know you always got a slot. We might have to do election night coverage after you do. Oh, well, you got an election, man. So look, I was gonna say we might need to do some election night coverage and have you do color commentary. You see that color commentary? See, I did that. Alderman Lopez, always an honor to have you on the show, man. Man, when you got some, hey man, and don't be sending out these press releases without giving me the news. We want to scoop it too, man. Look, the mainstream media ain't gonna show you the same love we will. So make sure we get the press releases, and when you got another hot tip, let us break it, man, because you know how to make them go crazy.
Oh, I know. We do what we do, mate. We do what we do.
Hey, man, that is my man, Alderman Ray Lopez. Go ahead. Where you going to be at it? Who you interviewing with at 8 o'clock? Oh, did he?
The legendary reporter John Cass.
Okay, so Alderman Lopez will be on with John Cass at 8 o'clock. So I would tell y'all to go switch, but you can't. So check him out afterwards. Go back and watch the replay. It's our guy, 15th Ward Alderman Ray Lopez, always on the show. Look, y'all, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the rest of what we got going on. We'll be back after these messages.
We'll be back after this break.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things, what you're doing. And in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. A good lawyer. I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Oh, yeah. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things, what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, why don't you come on over,
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Hey, the only person doing begging on this platform and trying to get some money off this platform is Maze Jackson. So let me just say this to you real quick. Peace and love. You ask again, you will be blocked. We don't do that here. We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. I'm just looking at comments today. So you can put it up there again, but you will be like, bing, bang, boom. You be like, blocked on this channel. Now, if you on this channel, the only money coming is this away. This away. Okay?
It's a baby.
I got a formula for you and your baby. Go outside.
It's a baby.
Riis. Then she need to get her a channel. All right? Playing with me. Hey! Get them goddamn babies out the street. Playing with me, boy. Hey, you out. You can cash app or something. See what happened. Both of y'all gonna be blocked on the channel. Both of y'all. Go! Don't tell me not to block nobody. Jerome, don't you start. I'm in a blocking mood today. Hey! She better go get. So first time you come in just to ask for some baby formula.
Hey man, you gotta.
Hey Riis.
Hey, check this out. With somebody, what my grandma always taught me, man. You gotta be to ask for some help, man. You gotta be in a real, in a real bad predicament.
Okay, so that's in live. That's in person.
She had to.
I'll tell you what. I'm telling you now. If I hear one ding. And I got a stars party going on Facebook right now, too. If I don't see no stars flying through for the stars party, okay.
It's not the season to give better than receive.
Right, give it to me. Give it to me. Riis, see? Now, you like Black Agenda Group telling me why I can't. No, I'm just playing. I see you, Black Agenda. I see you supporting. I'm all good with that. That's all good. Riis, I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't know if I want to talk about the three kings, or do we want to do a breakdown of the mayor's race as it stands right now?
You know what? We ain't did the three kings. It's been every day we say that we gonna do it. I do want to hear the breakdown of the mayor, but since
the three kings been on the schedule.
We said the three kings on the schedule since Tuesday, so let's do that one.
All right, let me go back up. Also, I gotta go back because Smoke Signal said if he get the job done in 3 hours, that's his 5 hours left. And then he came back and said, well, 3-5 because he got to get his lunch break. Riis, like, do you think people, is that possible that somebody could actually believe that? Like if I told you to do something at work and I gave you a list of tasks and you got them done and I thought it was an 8-hour project and I gave it to you and I said, these are things I need you to get done for me, then you're scheduled for 8 hours and you get them done in 3? Would you come back to me and be like, I'm finished? What else you got? Or would you say, shit, let me go let me stretch this?
I mean, most people do be like, you know, they do be like, hey, you know, I'm done working, you know, it's all good for me. But, you know, like I probably, if I know
Let me take it out of you. Let me not take it.
Like I'm just saying, like Jackson, like general any job, 5 to sit in something for 5 hours is crazy. I would at least, if I know I can do it, then I probably take my time doing it and make sure it's right. And then especially if I know I gotta, you know, that much time, then it should definitely be done the correct way. You know, like imagine doing it in 3 hours and it's still wrong and you did nothing for the rest
I
of the
feel
5
like
hours.
But to me, that's most employees working smarter because they be like, they come back and I be like, well, they don't come back, but they come back and they be like, this is what I did for 8 hours. I was like, it took you 8 hours to do this. And then if you be like, that ain't what I want, then they, he tripping, man. You didn't put a comma there. You missed the. Dang, Smoke Signal, you killing me, man. Now I don't see this. This why I got. This why I don't got trust issues. I be like, excuse me, like y'all. Did you like when I was growing up? Like, my parents wasn't seeing me just laying around doing nothing. Like I was gonna be busy doing something, cause you wasn't finna just be making something for me to do. And at work, did you ever hear you got time to lean, you got time to clean? So at McDonald's, there's always some work to be done. Okay, see, there she go. Say bye, everybody. Say bye. We say bye to peace and blessings. Bye bye, cause y'all didn't send her no money, and now, boom, just like that. I hope that somewhere in the universe she finds baby formula. Riis, you can go get the number. It's up there. Go ahead, inbox her. Poof. Yeah, man, I've been deciding that I really ain't got it. You know, this block button, and I really used to be like, I should just listen. I should give everybody. Nah, you don't get my platform to screw me over. No, sir. All right, Riis. Let's talk about the three kings. Nah, but for real, Smoke Signal, man, you got me. See, y'all gotta stop doing these things on the show, because then I'll be looking around like they getting me. Everybody be looking around suspicious. Then I'll be like, and it's payday too. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Riis, I'm gonna talk about the three kings. Do you know who the three kings are? The three kings. Richard M. Daley, Ed Burke, and Mike Madigan. And Riis, a little earlier today, we were talking about, remember I was saying how the whole world is changing and the city council is going to be completely different, and there's no reason, like the old fights that we were having and things, like all of those people are essentially gone. I want to back up. So I'm going to start with Daley. I was born in 1971. The original Mayor Daley died in 1975. So you would be like, how does a 4-year-old remember that? But I remember it because it was so impactful. And I remember my mom being like, whoa. And I remember it being on the news as a 4-year-old. And so I would tell you that the Daleys have been a part of the psyche of any Chicagoan since 1950. I would be honest with you and tell you that probably up until recently, we thought that the Daley dynasty would probably rise again in Chicago. And no matter, Riis, I can never find black people that tell me that they like Daley, but he won every black ward every time after his first race. And I was thinking about, I think it might be 12 years ago, right? Because one Mayor Daley, 2 rhyme terms. So right around 12 years ago, Mayor Daley abruptly walked away from the mayor's office. Mayor Daley, in my estimation, was the undisputed king of mayors in the country. Country, not the city, the country. There was no mayor more powerful than Richard M. Daley during his reign in Chicago. And he impacted every facet of our lives, from education to business to politics to everything. And Riis, he abruptly quit. But in the power sharing dynamic, there's 3 branches of government. The first being executive. Mayor Daley was the undisputed king of mayors in the country. Every mayor wanted to have the power that Mayor Daley had. He even became probably somewhat more powerful than his dad. He lasted longer. And then after surpassing his dad's record, he abruptly retired with no successor. But I would be honest with you and tell you that we all, probably in our minds, somewhere thought in our future a Daley would return. We saw this in the last election almost, when Bill Daley came back and came within points of a runoff to be the mayor of Chicago. Had he not been undermined by his former teammate, the son of a former teammate, Green Team teammate, Jeremiah Joyce, 2 Irishmen in a race, we would have probably seen another Daley at the top. Riis, with the most recent prosecution, it is my belief that Daley that Mayor Daley was one of the kings, one of the Irish kings of Illinois, but also around the country. You might be right, Tracy, because his dad helped engineer Kennedy, etc. So you might be right? Okay. But I would say in modern times, Mayor Richard M. Daley was the model mayor of people. He's gone now, Riis. From the time I was from 1971 until 12 years from now? From 23? 12 years. So 2010. Okay. Then Riis. So Mayor Daley was the king of the executive branch. And I just want you to see the power sharing spot. So in the executive space, Mayor Richard M. Daley was the Irish king. He's no longer there. There's still whispers behind the scenes that he's still controlling things, etc. But I think that is the mythology of the Daley squad who wants to conjure up the glory days.
I mean, anybody that come up here or like in general, they be like, oh yeah, I'm from the Daleys, so.
I mean, you got to understand, for my generation, The path to success was to be in the daily camp. And if you look around as who was successful in the black world, they were daily camp, and they wear it with a badge of pride. Then there was the Madigan camp. Let's go. Then there was the Madigan camp. Now remember, all the Irish don't get along. Daly, Madigan, and Burke do not like each other. They don't. They don't. All of them saw the old man Daly as their political fathers. But Richard M. Daly is like, that's my real father. Okay? But what they did that black people don't do is they figured out a power sharing agreement that kept them in their own lanes, that stopped them from fighting each other. Mike Madigan, another Daly political son, went on to become the most powerful person in the legislative process. He essentially became the king of Springfield because he couldn't be the king of Chicago. Because there's only one king in Chicago. And so as part of the power sharing dynamic, he went to Springfield and became the Irish king of the legislature, making him the longest serving Speaker of the House in the country. But not on top of that, the most powerful man in Springfield. He was the undisputed king of Springfield. He talked about in his speeches all of the people that he left that came through, from governors to people. And I remember when Susanna Mendoza did the speech, and and it was like he vanquished. It was now Mike Madigan, we would be nothing. Riis, 2 years ago, the second of the three kings was federally indicted, walked away, and left in his stead a black speaker. Second of the three kings. Now, I want to be honest with you. All three of these kings explored a level of mythology in this place that people believed that they had supernatural political power. They did. Let's go to Ed Burke. Monday, quietly at 5 o'clock, without much fanfare, the last of the Irish kings bowed out of government. There was no press release. He simply did not file petitions. Riis, I can recall 4 years ago, around this time, the federal government stopped by Ed Burke and papered over his office, and it was the biggest thing that anybody had heard of. And Riis, within 2 days, he had a fundraiser, and there were lines of people, in spite of the federal indictment, because they believed that there was no way in the world that the feds could ever get Ed Burke, and I still don't think they can. Still not sure that they have, because they haven't. But what it did, Riis, was it was a symbolic end to an era of Illinois politics that probably will never come back. And it's part of the reason why I'm leaving this space. Riis, a big chunk of my fight was because I recognized that the three kings had such a vice grip on this state that there were not opportunities unless you joined the kingdom. Not the type of opportunities that I want. And quite frankly, if you pay attention, Riis, all of the black people that are successful brag about their success because of their connection to one of the three kings. Black people who have relationships with one of the three kings wore it with a sense of pride. I can call Mike Madigan. I can call Ed Burke. I can call Mayor Daley. And in that process, they skipped over every black person in the process, thus allowing them to be disconnected from our community. Matter of fact, elevated above our community in the space. And now, Reese, the three kings have quietly done what nobody thought would happen. Been out of Illinois politics and Illinois government. Now, there are whispers and there are rumors, Reese. People are like, Mayor Daley is behind the scenes controlling the Chuy Garcia campaign.
Do you believe any of that?
No. Here's what I believe. I believe that there are networks and associations and bonds that are created over years with people politically. If you are a Daley person, then you still have Daley camp relationships. If you are a Madigan person, you still have Madigan camp relationships. If you are a Burke person, you still got Burke relationships. Now, those three kings, people use the mystique of those three kings for one of two reasons: as an excuse as to why they can't, or as an opportunity to bully through what they want. But I was thinking that from 0 to 40, my vision of Chicago was through the lenses of a Daley. From 2010 to present, my thought process of Chicago was through the lens of the chairman has to get his piece before. If you're not on the chairman's team, you tier 2. From the time I got involved in politics in 1999 till 2 years ago, my lens of government at Springfield was through the lens of Mike Madigan. And Reese, I truly believe that so many of us have to be untrained. It's like when we have to recognize that right now our time is upon us. I think that a lot of the stuff that I was talking about that puts me ahead of the game a little bit. And I think Mayor Lori Lightfoot may have jumped the wagon. But the reality is right now, Reese, is that a whole new power structure is being formulated in Illinois. And we would be foolish to sit that process out. Right now, there are many people who are seeking to replace the three kings. Now, I got to help y'all understand the Irish. With the loss of the three kings, they drop in rankings very far down the poll if we stay scary. Right? Because guess what? The people that were on team Daley, Madigan, and Burke, they want everybody else they want to pick up the Daley, Madigan, Burke flag and keep everybody in check over what was no longer here. So you was taught to be fearful of Daley. You was taught to be fearful of Madigan. You were taught to be fearful of Burke. And their associates operated because they was part of the mob. The family, here go the lick though, right? Chief is gone. We might have been scared of dude them, but we should be forming our own new pathways. The three kings, there should be no three kings without a black king. Or there needs to be three black kings. But we should not allow the perception or the Reese, remember when you are a little kid and somebody picks on you, it's two ways you operate when you grow up. If somebody was bullying you and you grow up and they got you either whooping their ass or you gonna be getting punked again. I'm not for black people getting punked again. So right now what's happening is the Irish who can count are looking around saying, hold on, if these Negroes start mathing and adding up, they could realize that they got the numbers. What was the biggest fear of slave masters during slavery? A revolt. A reading, writing, and a revolt. That black people would look up and be like, hold on, there's more of us than you. Which is why they didn't want you to count. But I want you to recognize, and I want black people to recognize that all these whispers, and I'm not dissing anybody, but all these whispers about who's back and who. I find it hard to believe, Reese, you asked me about, do I believe that? No, I think that under federal indictment, who's going to meet with you to tell you, you giving political orders when you know they've tapped your phone? When you know that you are under a microscope? Like, who's walking in doing that? Now, maybe I'm crazy, but I think we want to believe this mythological, oh my God, these guys are still running things from behind the scenes. Reese, I got to be honest with you. If they are still trying to run things from behind the scenes, they're foolish. They're foolish. But I think we need to stop being the Wizard of Oz. Y'all remember when Dorothy went to Oz and she found out behind the machine? Guys, black people, we are... Okay, I'm not going to keep on because I'll be around here. Carly on the Maze Jackson Show. Reese, what's up? We got somebody on the line? Carly on the Maze Jackson Show.
Yo.
Jake!
Oh, y'all can hear me?
Jake, I started to call you when I was in Houston. I ain't had your number, though, dog. Y'all got some water yet?
Right. Yeah. I'm glad, you know what I mean? Everything you love. I mean, that you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, I did.
You know what I'm saying? With your family and everything. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. Hey, let me ask you this. That barbershop over in 3rd Ward over there by TSU?
A barbershop where?
You heard me? Is it over there by TSU? Over there.
Yeah. Good Looks. I was at Good Looks. That's my man. Look what's good.
Right. Hey, what's good is, bro, not only got to reform our mind about politics, we got to reform our mind on who we are, bro. Period. And I ain't called to get on your little shirt, man. Your sweater.
Why you hating on my sweater, man?
Wait. Are you Santa little helper or you Santa? You know Santa spelled Santa.
Go ahead, give me some knowledge, Jake.
Hey, you know
Satan
is spelled Satan. Bro, we got to reform our mind on everything. But you know, I appreciate you. You say you out of here, huh? And but when were you out of here? March?
April.
You sure? You ain't going nowhere, bro.
Hey, dog, I'm going to a pocket.
If somebody dropped a bag on you, you would reconsider?
Hey, man, they got to drop a big bag because it's a lot of money out here, man. It's a lot of money out here.
Hey, but look. The chosen of the people is a few, bro. You know what I mean? The righteous is only a few, bro. You know what I mean? It's not something easy. You dig? It's not something easy, man. It's something. It take a special breed. I think you're doing something special for your people, our people, regardless. You know what I mean? How you consider yourself and things of that nature. But I think that, you know what I mean, you've been doing a grand job. You've been informing us in people. Man, that's just my style anyway. I've been on politics in Chicago since Ed Podoliak and Everett Doliak, all of them, and the elder Dorothy Tillman, all of them. So I appreciate you, man. Hopefully you don't go nowhere. Hopefully, yeah, man. They think Ye broke. Maybe he ain't gonna drop. They think he broke. If you had $9 million and they take 2, that means at least he got 7. And he just settled a case with Kim for $200,000 a month and child support. That's crazy. $200,000 a month. Is that right? You think that's right work?
No, man, I think that's crazy work. But hey, I ain't got to put my kid on no private jet, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep up with the daddy lifestyle. So he needs to start living like a hermit. Did I lose him? All right, Jake, I appreciate you. Look, Riis, I don't know if I want to play this before the break.
You got to play it now. Then when they come back, they have time to process it.
All right, let's do this real quick. All right, I want you to hear this. This is from Y'all Boy.
I was thinking when I was on my way over here. I was wondering.
Hey, what's going on? Wait. Don't tell me they took it down. No, they did not just take that joint down that quick.
That's what the screen recorded.
I was thinking when I was on my way over here. I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that. Okay. Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a black man, as a black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on before you guys leave.
That was LeBron. Somebody done got to LeBron. I think the Hebrew Israelites might have got to him, Joe. I think, let me just say this. I think that certain people are doing themselves a disservice in the black community trying to make black people the face of racism. And essentially the people that you would expect to be your allies are more and more feeling like you perhaps may be an enemy to truly the most oppressed group of people in the country. Obviously, I cannot talk about it, but I told you I was trying to do business in Houston. And black business people were discussing the anti-tag. And I just ask you, in what world have we ever seen black people in my lifetime powerful enough to enforce and instill racist policies on other groups? Shout out to LeBron for coming aboard a little later. But he's on board. I think black people in this country have got to stop cowering to labels and titles. And I cannot be honest with you and tell you that I had the strength to stand with it alone. But I do think that certain groups of people can look as though they are bullying, and using a person like a high-profile person makes it easier to bully them because it appears as though they can withstand it. But let's be clear, it is bullying. And shout out to LeBron James. And because here's my thing, Reese. I can't be mad at you when you get to the boat. Right? Because I still say you recorded the episode. I want to see what everybody... you know why they deleted the episode, Reese? Because Muggs was sitting in that chair like, you right. And nobody else wanted to be on the boat. I am telling you that this is a terrible path that certain groups are choosing, especially trying to target people who recognize, forget what happened in the Semitic world. People know what happened to their grandparents. People know People know what happened. And if they didn't, what you're doing is making them go look. And when they go look, then they have more questions. And I'm not sure that if we were to get the questions, if they were to be asked the questions and we were to be truthful, I think we would find that we have an interesting allyship. An allyship that makes us the tip of the spear when there's talk about bad things happening, but not the beneficiaries. Sort of like the people of color thing. So when I want to talk about the mayor's race, but I do think that it was the most politically correct way of LeBron James could address that without hurting himself. And I'd be curious to know, going backwards, a little bit more about Donald Sterling and the Clippers. Be curious.
I just didn't like the Stephen A. response. Did you see him respond? You don't need one. You don't need it.
Hey, you know what? Let's take a break. I might play Stephen A. Look, I know that judge. Exactly He's a good man. Exactly I know him. He is a good... It's the Mays Jackson Show. That's why we getting this is why I gotta quit, man. That's why I gotta stop this stuff. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mays Jackson.
Byron, you got a nomination for the vice president of the phone club. Say what? Dang, Byron. Look, Tennille done nominated you for the vice president of the phone club. Reese has seconded. All those in favor of Byron being the vice president of the phone club signify by saying aye. Go once, going twice. and you are now officially the vice president of the phone club. So Byron, we will be expecting to hear from you regularly. So you and Katie will have an exec board meeting and let us know the rules of engagement on the phone. And Riis is now in your number one fan club, but you got to remember whose show it is, Byron. Don't forget, because Riis will have you thinking. You know how these millennials will do.
I know who paid the bills. I know who paid the bills.
Mays Jackson.
It's the Mays Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Mays said, we out of here. Peace.
Didn't you have you carried the weight for love, kept it moving, ain't never looked back. 'Cause I see the bigger picture of being a victim. No, things get hard, you gotta be strong, I've been right there with you. So live your whole truth and be your whole you. Yeah, they can talk behind your back, but they can't hold you. Keep my drama, all my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Sparkle pushing on the gas. Hey, I've been moving in a fast lane. Don't be looking in the past, 'cause when you're looking, you get past. Don't get it twisted, I ain't forget. You know I've been through a whole bunch of this shit, 'cause I put a line on X now 'cause I'm lit. Can't nobody question I'm legit. I've been on the move, 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 move. Move, make it do what it do, 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 do. Ain't got nothing to prove, prove, prove. Redefining the cool, 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 hey. I don't keep my drama, all my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle.
You are listening to the Mays Jackson Show. That bass line, boy. That bass be slapping. We got to get Sparkle to come perform. We might have to go ahead and get that to the. I think I'm gonna have a Christmas show.
That'll be a good. Like you know how you be always thinking about like an artist to bring. I think Sparkle will be a real good.
Oh, Sparkle's great. I got some pictures of Sparkle at my birthday party. Remember when she did Mr. President? Oh, you wasn't there. My 30th birthday party at Page. Sparkle performed for my birthday. You don't even know nothing about Page. Stop it. You don't know nothing about. Why you say that? You don't know nothing about Page. You was in kindergarten, fam.
Nah, I was a late teen when they was like, I was like a late teen. I had a secret access in there. Like I knew somebody in there, so yeah, I was a late teen. Yeah, Page.
That's funny. Page. That's you know where that's the first place I met Johanna, who is the Instagram superstar now. Her son is Amari Bailey. She was like 18 working there, and everybody was like, whoever that is, one day she's going to be, and she turned into like the super. Page used to be the joint. Shout out to Avis, shout out to Rock. Man, that was my spot. I remember we had Tennille will laugh at this. We had the Mays Jack Christmas party there. So we had open bar for the staff, right? Riis, these punks went and drank like $4,000 worth of alcohol. We said open bar. I wasn't thinking like you ordered an XO.
It's open, right?
Okay. Well, I know next time. But anyway, Page, it was like they was like, "Dang, Maze, you blew it out." I was like, "Yeah." Anyway, Riis. I was gonna tell y'all about the mayor's race, but now I want to talk about this whole LeBron. Can they punish him?
Oh no, not him. They won't. They're gonna actually now. They're gonna, rumble behind him. They're gonna, now everybody from the woodworks is gonna come behind and support him.
Support who?
LeBron. Unlike the Kyrie situation, but yeah, for sure.
Shout
like the Tom Brady of, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain people like you really can't penalize. You like, okay, so nah, yeah, he good, but yeah, I told you, man, that Stephen A just really got me just now.
Stephen A, man. Hey, man. That's gonna be me though.
That's gonna be you.
That's gonna be me. Look, all the white racists gonna be coming to me. I'm gonna be like, he's my friend. Look, how much? Shoot. Look, I be out here mad for black people. Then they be taking selfies. I be like, we just talked about this. Y'all be, oh, my bad. Okay, all right. But May's gotta be mad. May's gotta be Poe. Cause I wanna be mad for you and you ain't mad. Okay. Jonathan Boston, how do you get the song from Sparkle? I'll reach out to DNA and see if he can give it to us in a way. I'm sure it's on, I know it's on YouTube though. But I'll figure out if there's a downloadable way we can get it. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Man, Stephen A. Smith, my job is going to be to defend, my job is to defend all the racists coming back. I want to get paid to, everybody that got canceled, I want to be able to stand and be like, I was his black friend before he was a racist. He's not really like that. Y'all will be like, cool, let's take a selfie. I know that guy. Yeah. A farmer. Yeah. I dig him. Klan's farmer, but farmer nonetheless. Oh, God. All right. Riis, I'm going to tell you my mayor's rankings right now. I ain't got time to go into my analysis. But people were upset with me the other day because I posted it. But here's my mayoral rankings right now. Chewy Garcia, first spot. Paul Vallis, number 2. It's two trending down. Does that make sense? So until Chewy Garcia got in the race, it was 8 black people and 1 white guy. Puts him in the runoff just on race alone, right? But now that Chewy has entered the race, I think it's going to cut into Paul Vallis' lead. So right now I've got Chewy Garcia and Paul Vallis. If the race were held today, those would be the 2 that are in the runoff. I know people are going to say that the mayor is the incumbent, right? But I don't know if y'all saw the article in the paper. Even Reverend Ira Ackery said he probably, if it's Chewy and Lori, he got to go with Chewy. Riis. It's deep, man. Then third, I have Lori Lightfoot, but only because she's the incumbent. Right? Like, I would really drop her to 4 and put Brandon Johnson above her, but I don't think Brandon Johnson has the name recognition. Right? And I also think, Riis, that Brandon is in trouble. You know why? Because I think Brandon and Chewy were at some point the same candidate. And Brandon, in jumping out early, got the support of CTU. But I think it's CTU and SEIU. But I think it's going to push Brandon Johnson to the left and make him look like the lefty candidate. And Chewy, who was at one point the lefty candidate, is now the center. Because, see, that goes back to my point of, is Chicago the city that still works? Are we a left-leaning city? Or are we still a Midwest city? Like, are we like, Riis, are we more like New York and LA? Or are we more like a Midwestern city? And when I say New York and LA, you know, like this New York, LA, like the progressive. Are we a progressive city or are we still like a hardworking Midwest city? Like, I feel like it's changing, right? So I still feel like there are pockets of people that work, but I feel like we're very rapidly moving away from a hands and manufacturing, which is already gone, to a tech-based kind of economy where the old racial divisions aren't the same, right? Where there's more Chance the Rappers than there are Grabowskis. Do you think there are more Chance the Rapper white people in Chicago now or more Grabowskis? Or how is it trending? You know, the Bears. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
probably more chances now.
You think it's more? Is it more progressive in Chicago? Do you think there are more progressive? Because I was looking at these mayor's candidates, and really the only one that seems to be, like, when I have to say that Chuy Garcia is the moderate candidate, Willie Wilson is the right candidate, and so is Paul Vallis. Those two are very right. When I say right, conservative. But the balance of the rest of them are fighting to get into the progressive lane. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Is Chicago still a hardworking city? Obviously, we don't have the same manufacturing base. But are we still Grabowskis or are we more Chancey? More Chance the Rapper? Riis says we're more Chance the Rapper. I would say that the remaining black people are more Grabowski-ish. The new black people that are coming, are Chancers. So I feel like there's a whole new evolving black community, but it's not a born here community. Because the black people that are born here that are young, they tend to leave. If they can. Right? Like if you black and you go to college, you probably ain't coming back to Chicago.
Especially if you go out the country, like out the state, you be like, wait a minute, I'm in where?
Right.
I'm going back there.
Right. So my question becomes, are we, like, because Riis, I'm looking at Willie Wilson, I look at Paul Vallis, and I feel like probably their values are a little closer to mine. But I'm old. And I'm really looking at all of these people, like this side of the boat got 2 people on it. This side of the boat got 10 people on it. The 10 people are all fighting for different pieces of the pie. But do we think a conservative person is going to win, or do we think about when Chuy Garcia is the rightest of the left? Are we still a working class city? And particularly the black population. So then I would say after Lightfoot, I got Willie Wilson. Then I got Brandon Johnson. My bad. I got number 1, Chuy Garcia. Number 2, Paul Vallis. Number 3, Lori Lightfoot. Number 4, Willie Wilson. Number 5, Brandon Johnson. Number 6, Sophia King. And Sophia King is an anomaly for me because she is the only woman in the race outside of the mayor. And I really feel like there's something to that. Especially after all of these white women and the divorce and the abortion and all of that stuff, I feel like there's something there. I feel like when the mayor says she wants to protect birth rights or protect reproductive rights, it doesn't come off as genuine as to me a Sophia King, who is a birth mother of kids. But she's also a reason why I think that the mayor is dropping. Because right now, Riis, you can't win this race with the black vote. You can't win it. If you get all the black vote and you ain't winning. You can make the runoff. And so right now, What did I tell you? With 8 black candidates, ain't nobody really campaigning black yet. That's why we got to have this black debate. I really do think we need to have black people. So the question becomes, then Riis, I got Cam Buckner and Jamal Green on the same level. I got Jamal Green because I think he's had 4 years to build his name recognition. I think Cam Buckner, if I get one more email from Cam Buckner and Baby Cass, did anybody sign up for their emails? Because last night at 9 o'clock, I was about to go to bed, and Baby Cass sent me an email talking about, before you go to bed, don't forget to donate to my dad. Then you got Rod Sawyer. Riis, I don't know if Ricky Henderson going to let him stay on the ballot.
Why you say that?
Riis, he can't. He showed up to the petition thing with his petitions under his arm. That don't feel like 3 times the amount. You need 12,500 signatures, but you got to find, of those, you got to make sure that they're good. So you remember you're supposed to file 36,000. Everybody else came with a wagon. Alderman Sawyer came in like, you know how you carry your books to school? That's how he came. So I don't know if he makes it. Frederick Collins and the other 2, I don't know if those candidates actually make it. But I do think if they allow them to stay on the ballot, they can peel votes away from someone.
Do you think it'd be a big amount that like this person got, like, you know how like somebody in a race and they in there, they were like, they only got like 1,000 votes. Like, do you think the people that's in there will take enough votes that could it help the, like, they took? That's
why you got to start eliminating people. So if I'm Mayor Lightfoot, I got to eliminate Sophia King, right? So Mayor Lightfoot should be trying to eliminate Sophia King, and she should be trying to cut down on the black candidates, right? She ain't going to be able to stop Willie Wilson, but the mayor's base really right now is the black community, but she's splitting that with 8 people. So she's got to thin that race out, right?
Then she just got another woman in there, so that's another.
So, right. So she's got to take out, the first priority for her is to take out Sophia King, right? Because Sophia King is the biggest direct threat. What does the mayor claim? I'm black and I'm a woman. Sophia says, I'm a black, I'm a woman, but I'm nice. You can talk to me. I don't curse you out, right? Plus a little Michelle Obama move something. I'm just telling you. You know Barack come through. White people still, man, Joe. Then others, I don't know if we should be paying attention to. I think we should see. I think there's a lot of campaigns are going to have to make a decision, Riis, as to whether they want to eliminate or they think the more. There's 2 ways you look at this. The more the merrier, or you want to cut it out. Ordinarily for an incumbent, it would be the more the merrier. The problem for the mayor is it's everybody. All of them other people are alternate choices from her. A few things I want you to start watching right now, with Chuy Garcia getting the endorsement of Local 150, which is the biggest player politically. People talk smack, right? They were the first people they put up $1 million last time. They kept their word. They put troops on the street. It was everybody else who didn't keep their word. So for the chumps who was talking that craziness one more time, it was a big factor. But I think we should pay attention to the fact, Riis, what's so apparent with this race is black and white. Like in labor, you would have thought that union, they would have all stuck together with the labor candidate. How did the operators go with Chuy Garcia? So you got to pay attention to that. The split in labor. What's the matter? Somebody getting jazzy again? Go ahead.
I was just reading the call. No, it's an interesting call on hold. I was just reading.
Okay, I'll take the caller in a minute. Then the Madigan Daley mystique. I keep hearing people saying Mike Madigan and Richard Daley are with Chuy, and so that's the that's the Chuy and Daley people. I mean, the Madigan and Daley people trying to pick a winner so that they can stay in relevance and know that. The business alderman pack that we saw in the paper, that is really an attempt by other people to control. They don't want you. They talk about left-leaning black people. What they really don't want is pro-black black aldermen who aren't scared. Finally, that's also the mayor's plan to combat CTU. Right? Because the rich people are like, we cannot allow the socialists. But it really is to try and get the mayor of city council. What I would tell you is that if they were, what I also think it is an opportunity for the rich guys to hedge their bet so they can say they're supporting the mayor without being all the way in for her. And then finally, the mayor can't help, so she do. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Real quick, yesterday when I was running through the aldermanic races to talk about, though, I do want to mention that there is a race in the 28th ward. Beverly Miles hit me up like, you ain't mentioned my race, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, well, dang, you know, first of all, I got to be honest with y'all. Everybody got so many expectations of the Maze Jackson Show. Do I get to reciprocate the expectations? Y'all will call me to curse me out to tell me what I didn't do. I ain't seen nobody. Riis, I think I might start consulting. Since everybody got an expectation of what I got to do. Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take this call. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hello.
Caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Am I speaking to Maze Jackson?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to give an opinion here, and I don't want to cause any problems or anything like that. But, and I agree with a lot of things that is being said or whatever. But the problem is that people don't understand, and they yell and scream in people's faces. I agree with protests and stuff like that, but I would never get out there. I was raped when I was 14. It took my childhood and my innocence, but I would never go out in the street and have people that support me that have never had it happen to them. I can't be where other people's at to understand their struggles of what they've been through if I didn't live it, and that's truth.
Okay.
And I don't understand that stuff. I don't. I stay away from it.
Now, what stuff are you talking about, caller? When you say you stay away from that stuff, what stuff are you talking about specifically? Help me out. I'm sorry, I missed it.
I watch what's going on in Chicago with all these small children that are being killed. And nobody does anything. There's no protest out there for them. Nothing. And it keeps getting worse and worse. I have a grandson that got put into a gang when he was 14 years old. And I have no way to touch out to him or do anything for him. And all I can do is he going to live or is he going to die? I watch my son live on Facebook and something and another, whatever, Twitter or whatever that program is, where he's going to take his life. Over all this crap that is going on. Everything that's going on. And it seems like everybody is so concentrated on so much stuff and being divided and all this kind of stuff. And we all care. I work with every single nationality on third shift and have for 16 years. We all get along all night long. We all get along. We work together. We're a team and we're all together. And now I'm watching in China with this COVID-19 thing. My opinion is it's the flu. It's not COVID-19. And all they did was throw control over all of us. We can't get out. We can't do this. We can't do that. Is the mask coming back? Do we get a shot? What is going on? I've never caught the flu. I have never been sick. I stock in a pharmacy department and there for 16 years. For the first 2 months when this first came out, I never caught anything. And I have never been sick and never took anything. we got a COVID-19 test that's on the shelf. It says it's made in the USA. But if you look on it in the small print, the thing you stick in your nose is not made in the USA. Where do people stand up and become united? Nothing is going to get done until we all stand together and stop fighting each other.
I can
We
agree
all
with
care.
that. So let me ask a question, caller. First of all, and I'm not trying to be difficult, where are you calling from? Like, first of all, thank you for calling. How did you find the Mays Jackson show? That I would be curious to know, because you don't sound like one of...
I've been watching him, and
Go ahead.
I've been watching him on Facebook, and there's a lot of things I agree with, but there's a lot of things that are not getting talked about. A lot of things that are not getting talked about, because there's people that say that you don't support things, but there's a lot of people that don't understand or lived what other people live. And it's not that they're against people. It's because they didn't live it. I don't expect anybody to understand what I live.
I see what you're saying. So let me back up, because I think I was a little bit lost in the process, but I do think that I'm bringing it back. So, caller, first of all, what's your name and where are you calling from? Because I'm honored that you are listening to the show. What I think you are expressing, which is probably the reason that I let the conversation or the call go, is because oftentimes we don't know the people that we're talking about or we're referring to, but we don't know their experience. And because we don't have an opportunity to talk, because the second that I express an opinion that's different than yours, then I could be a victim of cancel culture, or I could be called a racist, or I could be called anti-Semitic.
Exactly.
And that's part of the reason that we do this show, is to allow people to have their opinions, to be able to share them, even if they're not the opinions that we necessarily agree with. Now, in the process, I have been called anti-Semitic, racist, etc. But really what I feel like has to happen is for us to be able to talk, for you to be able to share your opinion. I may not agree with it, but it at least gives me a perspective as to who I'm talking to. Hey, caller, I got to tell you, I was a little confused, and people's like, hang up and let it go. But I feel like it's important. First of all, if you are a caller with that opinion, but if you're a caller with that opinion and you had the time and will to call into a space that may not have been the safest space, I feel like it's my responsibility to at least let you get your opinion out. Don't necessarily 100% agree, but I am grateful that we have expanded.
Fine. You know what? I don't hate you for that.
Right.
I don't hate you. I respect you.
Thank you.
I totally 100% respect you.
Thank you so much.
I'm right now living with 2 brothers with stage 4 cancer and a sister that found out she's got cancer. And I'm living with everything. I've been to 3 different hospitals for everything that I've been through in my life. Wow. But I do care. I do care. But I can't be there 100% like you can't be there 100% for me. And I don't hate people for that. And I don't scream in people's faces for that. Because it's my life. And it was my journey.
Hey, man. Caller, can I tell you something?
And you know what? And you know, and another thing is, please give me 1 more minute.
I will.
Please.
Yep.
When I was locked in the closet for 2 days, I can't expect anybody to know. They can care, and they can feel sorry for me, and they can feel in their heart how horrible. But there is no one that can be there for what I lived for that 2 days. No one. No one. When I opened up the door, when I had blood on my hands, trying to get out that door and then to get beat again, no one understands. And I don't hate people because they didn't live what I lived. I don't hate people for that. I lived it. It was my life. And I'm not going to scream in people's faces and get on the street to make people live what I lived. And you better be there. And you better listen to me, and you better do this, and you better do that, because that's what I live. I'm not going to do that because you can't. You can't be there. But I'm not going to hate you for it. I've got to get this inside of me. This is me alone, my journey. I have to figure it out. I've got to find whatever it is I need to get on with my life.
So no excuses.
And I don't hate anybody.
And you're not looking for the Calvary either. You just want to live your life. Caller, tell me where you calling from. You don't got to tell me, but just what are you calling from? Illinois? You calling from downstate? Where you calling from? Hello, did I lose you?
No, St. Louis.
St. Louis? Oh, really? And how did you find us in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. How did you find the Mays
I've
Jackson
been
show?
watching him. I've been watching him on Facebook.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things about him that I respect and I care about. But if somebody else doesn't voice something outside of other people, they don't understand that person or why they do what they do or why they feel what they feel. I can't be in a screaming crowd and stuff because of what I live. Nor do I expect anybody to be out there screaming for me because you ain't going to get what I need because you didn't live it.
Caller,
you can't do it.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
This, first of all, it's not he, it's me. I'm Mays. You talking to him. So I want to say this is Mays Jackson. I am grateful that you called, and you got to be a regular caller. So look, you keep watching, you keep tuning in, and you make sure you call back because I think you add a great perspective to the conversation. Thank you. Tell everybody your name real quick. What's your name?
I respect you. My name's Georgina.
Hey, Georgina. Well,
My
let me
name's
tell you
Georgina.
what. You are now part of the Mays Jackson Morning Show family. You got a call. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. And with that, Riis, I don't even think what more can I say?
I told you we had one.
We had a lot.
The description I was reading, that's all like.
I was looking at your face like, well, we got a caller here. Here's what I take away from this, too.
That was good. That was really good, though.
Let me tell you what I also take away from this. When she talked about that closet and what happened to her, I really believe that what she was actually saying was maybe it happened to her from someone that was not her race. Right? And so in spite of all of that, she's not particularly holding that against people in this space. That was funny. So, not funny. I thought it was a great call.
It was. But
it started out
funny because she said, "Oh, I listened to him," and she called us. I listened to him.
It's me. Who is it? Like I felt some kind of way. All right,
like,
y'all.
Oh, but she like I respect and everything. So like it was good to like you're saying to get different people opinions. So when you seeing that you're reaching other people from different races and they starting to agree with you, like, okay, well, what I'm saying, maybe I'm not just beating a dead horse, or like maybe I am reaching out and maybe some other races are hearing me and understanding. But yeah, man, that was pretty, and she said she was in it above 62. So yeah, she was in her 60s.
Why my fan club gotta be over 60, man? Like y'all got, you know what I'm saying? Like if I one day, let me tell you, dog. And no shade, right? Like
best party at 2 p.m. You gotta know the best. The best.
Dog, I be like,
party.
One day I wanted to be like a rock star, like you know what I'm saying, and have fans and stuff. I promise you, I bet if I had a fan club, like my fan club would be like 75 and up. Right, like my fan club would be
wheelchair accessible, everything. I ain't trying to offend nobody.
But they got pensions.
Yeah, but listen, they coming with the biggest support though. Listen, but
I love everybody.
Oh man,
that was crazy. All right, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. That was, it's the expanded audience.
Yeah,
it's expanded audience. When you hear a call like that, when we said something on the show that made somebody from 314 who has clearly been listening over time call in. Cause she just had to have her. Hey man, that's something.
She was like, "Yeah, I respect the things you say, man. Just because you have a different opinion doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic and all that. You just got different thoughts because ain't nobody been through what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? So that's what all she was saying.
Hey man, that was pretty deep. So anyway, I just appreciate it. All right, so look, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. I am the host where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? apparently other people want to know what's in it for them too. I'm okay with that. Maybe I need to do all of them. Oh yeah, you saw that? I told you Twista got a cannabis license. Again, the mayor putting us in a jam where you can't be mad against nobody. How I'm supposed to be mad at Twista getting the cannabis license? If somebody should have a cannabis license, it should be Twista. That adrenaline rush. Doom, 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 doom. Look, Riis, we about to go. So why don't you go ahead, and I'm going to close today with adrenaline rush. And if they cut us off, then guess what? We was going off anyway. So you got it? See if you can pull it up and start it and play it from the beginning. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, hey, y'all, shout out to my man Twista, GMG, my man Raw Stewart, all the Max crew, Color One, everybody, Rick, all the people who about to blow up at the new Mooin Oink on the west side. Shout out to my man Big Swill, who if it wasn't for him, I would have never been out west, wouldn't even known about Madison and Pulaski. Shout out to all the brothers who about to get they stuff right. And be careful.
Finally, the people that's on Madison and Pulaski can get a real job.
There's a lot of, they got a lot of talented workers out there. Y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. It's a lot of bud tenders on the street right now. So I'm sure you can find plenty of good staff. Shout out to my man Twista, GMG. Shout out G Herbo. Shout out to everybody who just won, because I'm for everybody black.
Bam! Cause what I say must stick at you geek, my eyes red plus. For smoking shit the niggas hit on and die. Made me wanna slip the clip on the side. And if you act like a bitch on the side, if we have to in the whole west side and let the shit go on and ride with the trigger buzz. Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make his opposition chest kick up and jump. When you lit up the gun to make your body get up and like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make a trigger click up and dump. So turn the bass kick up and bump and let the rhythm fit up the drum. Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make his opposition chest kick up and jump. When you lit up the gun to make your body get up and jump. Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make a trigger click up and dump. So turn the bass kick up and bump and let the rhythm fit up the drum. Pulling up and bailing out like we car sick and ready to start shit. Started burying some hairs like an ostrich and load the whole cartridge and throw the shells in the garbage. The hardest the motherfuckers can never achieve what I've accomplished. Young bucks, my accomplice, located this existence with my sixes like a compass. Decided on a journey to astonish and start this. Rush up in the hearts of other niggas to get them charged. What's the real reason? All you haters try to murder me, so now it's kill season. And even though I'm still bleeding, I'ma keep coming because I'm still breathing. And y'all can't trace me. I'm burying my victims in the wall like Gacy. Too lyrical, and since a snip of my umbilical, these flows been critical. My music is miracles like I'm biblical. Kill like I'm nutty and a buddy love. But still wouldn't leave a bloody glove. Let's start the truck up, let's beat the fuck up. Get away smoking the blunt duck, adrenaline pumping veins, erupt, I'm pumped up.
And I'm calibrated at 360 degrees. See, that's 300 niggas that's gon' die about 60 slugs to do this deed. We too much for the industrialists to fuck with this. On the brink of fucking up some shit. Dismantle, deduct some shit. It's hard to imagine what niggas got nerves to do. So I guess I just take that fucking nerve from you, then think what I'm on the verge to do. And I got the urge to let somebody close your curtains, fool. From killing the verses, fool. I be one of the worstest, dude. I'm the worstest. Looking about 9 millimeters above your surface. Unleash these things and I defeat your purpose, bitch. That's your adrenaline rush.
Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make his opposition chest kick up and jump. When you lit up the gun to make your body get up and jump. Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make a trigger click up and dump. So turn the bass kick up and bump and let the rhythm fit up the drum. Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make his opposition chest kick up and jump. When you lit up the gun to make your body get up and jump. Like when the motherfucker have to go and pick up the pump to make a trigger click up and dump. So turn the bass kick up and bump and let the rhythm fit up the drum.